All right, welcome to the Pedal Progressions UCI Watch Companion. We decided that the pre-game was too long. So if you'd like to join and watch with us, we are starting on the women's broadcast right now at the 44-minute mark. So starting in 3, 2, 1, go. I can't believe that there was 45 minutes of pre-game for 12 riders.
Yeah, it's a bit much. But maybe it's just that. I wonder if the men's has the same, preview thing before it, or if this is for,
This
both.
is likely the preview for the whole broadcast.
Right.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
So hopefully we'll know that we go to the 44-minute mark and start that one too.
This TNT Sports, I don't know, man.
It looks unpleasant.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
look
it's
great.
raining pretty good.
Devin would love that shit.
It'd make it memorable, dude. People never look back and think of, oh, how nice that was. They always talk about when the weather was terrible.
Exactly.
That first year.
One of my favorite races ever was in Marquette when it was just an absolute shit show
Yeah.
one year.
One of my favorite times riding was that snowshoe when it was a super muddy day, and it was.
That's like every day at Snowshoe.
Yeah.
It seems odd to me that the first downhill race is in Poland, which is very far north. You think they just kind of plan ahead to southern France or something?
Well, they raced in Fort William for European champs or something. It was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Look at that rut.
I mean, you say southern France, but remember Lords a few years back when it was just an absolute mud fest too?
It wasn't snowing.
When Alexander Faioli won.
Nick, what females do you have in your fantasy?
I don't remember.
Now you can't look because how I told you about the thing.
Gracie Hemstreet, I think, is one. I don't know who the other one is.
I have Gracie and Cammie.
Did anybody see that? I don't forget who the rider was, but they had a button on the handlebar that would change the suspension settings.
It's the specialized team.
Yeah,
Saw
Loic
that?
had that, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out
I
what
imagine
exactly it
Finn's running
changes,
that
but I
too,
think
no?
they're a little
Yeah.
hush-hush on it.
Yeah, their bikes are wild.
Dude, watching them in slow motion through a rock garden is like the coolest thing.
Did you see there's a Pink Bike article where one of the editors got to ride the specialized gravity bike?
Yeah, it was like Matt Beer or someone, I think. Or
I don't remember who it was, but he was saying the bike was a lot stiffer than what he would normally ride, but felt way better
Yeah.
through rough stuff, and was kind of surprised by how compliant it still was with it being so stiff.
Well, they always talk about race bikes are no fun to ride. You can't set it up to be both super fast and super fun at the same time.
Right? Yeah, I would agree with that. You wouldn't set up a race car to be the most comfortable thing. You set it up to be as fast as possible, and
Exactly.
They probably love it at the end of the year where they can go switch back to bike park settings and
Right.
enjoy riding their bicycle again.
Or you look at the free ride guys that are running 1 million PSI in their suspension because they want it to be ultra stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Only there for when things go really
Right,
wrong.
yeah. Yeah.
Rampage bike's like having a grenade on your
Oh, yeah.
bolted to your frame. This does not look fun. Last year it was perfect conditions for the debut
Yeah.
of this course.
Yeah, I was just thinking that does not look fun to go down.
No.
Super off camber.
It's like a slip and slide.
Oh, God.
bet
then
that wood
off-camera
bridge-
wood.
People are going to go right down that.
I mean, that could have gone a lot worse.
At least falling on that is probably not going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's just like a greasy slip and slide.
Yeah, but then getting back up.
Oh,
to
yeah,
move
that's the
again,
worst, dude. Your hands are then covered
and
in
you're
mud.
just slipping all over the place trying to stand up. I've been there.
I had this girl last year, Phoebe Gale. She was expensive this year. The women were really expensive.
Yep, there it is.
Oh.
Yeah, she pushed her front end before she got on
That
this
was
bridge.
an impressive catch, though.
Yeah.
Right off. Look, they're trying to climb up the side of the bridge.
Nope.
Ooh,
Caught
off the bridge.
pad thing on the side.
Looks like she hit the camera and flipped over.
Yeah. Mondraker.
Oh, I forgot she switched teams.
Say those white pants are going to be a one and done. Just throw them away after this. They're gonna
Mondraker never had a team till like 2 years ago, right?
Back in the day they did.
No, they've been on the circuit for a while.
Have they?
Danny Hart,
Danny
right?
Hart,
Yeah.
Lori Greenland. Lori Greenland really like made a name for
Brooke-
himself on
Brooke
Mondraker.
McDonald.
Yep.
Yep. Didn't Braga ride for Mondraker for a minute?
I don't remember, but I think so. Da Vinci, maybe. Because we went to that movie debut thing at the Wealthy Theater, and there's a whole part about him going home.
Oh,
And I
really?
want to say it was Da Vinci, and they
Okay.
did something for Stevie Smith.
That camera that's stationary by the bridge by the end of this is going to be covered. I hope they have someone wiping it off because it's already like got some mud chunks on it.
It's gonna have tear-offs on it.
Well, yeah.
Last year I tried to pick Gloria Scarzi like half the year at least, and every time she got 0 points for me. And then I saw when I looked at qualifying that she qualified higher than everyone else on my team, and I was like,
Of course.
if she does good this time, I'd be
Yeah.
so upset. She's the girl that
Oh,
like
God,
came
that
from
rain
Enduro.
looks nasty.
It looks like there's some
It's gotta
decent.
be cold, man.
Yeah,
They need to
there's
have a mile an hour
decent wind too.
little transformation thing down there.
Can't set the TV to miles per hour.
Yeah. What's up with that? That drop looks no fun. That look.
Well,
Oh.
she was back the whole way until just now.
How many riders are there in the women's field?
12, I think.
Yeah,
think
something like
so.
that. Alright. So this is their first race on the frameworks.
Yeah, she went from steel to aluminum. Maybe next year she'll get carbon.
The rear triangle is carbon,
Is
so
it?
yeah. And she's up by 15 seconds.
Ooh, I know that people in the league, a bunch of them took her.
Ooh.
Oh, holding on to her.
That framer spike is really cool.
Seventeen
Hell
seven.
yeah.
That's a margin.
That was good.
You think it's one of the races that like it'll look unbeatable, and then like the last 3 men will go and they'll beat it by like
yeah.
30 seconds from like fourth place.
Right.
Right, you're
be surprised.
you're thinking like every run. There's no way anybody could be faster than that, and then the next person's faster.
And then you're like, oh, that was amazing. No one will beat that.
Yeah.
And then the next person beats it. I don't even know who this is.
Yeah, I've never heard of her.
She's the European champion.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe she's European champ, but like, maybe she's also like real young. So maybe she's new to the
Feel like
elite field or
him.
something. I don't know.
That looks so unpleasant.
Yeah, it's like your bike just doesn't even want to roll.
You ever get so much mud stuck under your fender in the front that the wheel won't spin? Because that's really depressing.
Yeah, just don't run a fender. Solve that problem.
At Windrock, I had so much mud stuck in my rear shock that my rear suspension wouldn't compress.
I have a picture of my bike from the first Tennessee National I did when it was super muddy. And, like, I mean, everything is covered in a ton of mud except for the, like, stanchion on my shock. You just see the one
Yeah.
shiny little gold shaft inside the coil, and then everything else is just completely coated.
Coated.
And then your fork stanchions.
Yeah.
My rear triangle and crank arms are like polished aluminum now from riding.
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple of mud days in the rain.
Yep.
Like,
Takes all the anodizing off.
yeah.
Yes. Don't mess it up.
She's historically good in the mud.
Yeah. Tell that whole year she had to take off because she fell in the mud.
Well, wasn't she the world champ? And it was like the race she won was a crazy muddy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone
yeah.
thought she was only good because of the mud.
The rain is definitely now snow. I'm guessing it's snow at the top, and then it turns to rain as you get down the hill.
Things you don't think about in Michigan. Elevation.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That Yeti downhill bike's pretty good looking.
Does look
Yeah.
nice.
God.
Yeah,
Look at
that
the
part
pedal.
just looks like.
They're pedaling so hard and they're barely going anywhere.
Yeah.
At Racely the other day, a bunch of the guys were on like big enduro bikes, and it looked like they were in quicksand trying to start the game. Like, I know Richmond's wild, but maybe tone her down. I mean, it'd be really nice, Cammy, if you just made this 4.5 seconds up and.
She's. That's the one spot Anna Newkirk kind of messed up, but I don't know how much time she really lost there. Yeah, she's already back.
Yeah.
With how fast and wet that those two wood features are at the end, it's kind of there's gonna be something bad happen there in the end. I feel like.
Yeah, it seems too sketch to ride fast on.
Luckily, Dakota can't fall on it.
Yeah.
Those last turn blues. I've always liked this girl.
God, I felt so bad for her at Snowshoe that year.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nasty.
She just has so much style when
That
she
was when
rides.
she was on GT, right?
Yeah, she would send in that triple.
Yeah.
Isn't GT no longer now?
Yeah.
Kind of bums me out, not going to lie.
Well,
I'm sure they'll be back again like the last 3 times it
Yeah.
happened.
I did get a smoking deal on a dirt jumper, so
I'm about. I've looked at some Bombas. I want the purple one though.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
black and purple.
yeah, I
It's
bought
hard to get.
the black and gold one, brand new for $600.
Really?
Yeah, like because they're just like getting rid of all their stuff.
Yeah.
It was 50% off. I was like, well, I guess there's no time like right now to buy one of these.
Yeah. I was trying to get one of my buddies that has been saying he wants a dirt jumper.
Yeah, it's
To
like
get one.
you're not gonna find a better deal than that, really. Yeah, it seems like all the girls since what's her name have all been hovering around 3 or 4 seconds back. But yeah, the next 5 are fast.
When we were at Snowshoe, Gracie did really well in the muddy practice day.
They're racing downhill in Wyndham this year, right?
No.
Or is that next year?
It's not Wyndham. It's in New York. It's Lake
Oh.
Placid, Whiteface.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I would like to go. Mark
Uh,
Deering would like to go.
Is it in the fall?
It is. It's like first week of October or second week of October.
I might be interested in that.
I've never
We
been
should-
to upstate New York in the fall.
Yeah, I've like driven through the area, but that's about it.
I've never been that far north, I don't think. On the East Coast, at least. Because it's way up by Lake Placid.
Lake Placid.
We'll look up Whiteface. That's the actual ski resort.
Oh yeah, it is right by Lake Placid.
That's where the Olympics, where the Miracle on Ice happened. We can go look at the ice arena if it still exists.
It's a great movie.
I don't think I've ever made it through it, actually.
I've never seen it either.
We started watching it in school and then didn't finish it.
I hear it was based off a true story.
It was
Wait, was it?
Does she have a flat tire or something?
Yeah, she keeps falling back more and more. I
mean-
wonder if she's just like in pure survival mode and just doesn't want to risk anything.
True.
But normally she still sends it on the jumps, and like she's like,
She has gone around a few of the drops.
yeah, she's been going around
Yeah.
jumps and stuff.
Maybe she thinks she has a flat, and then she's gonna find out it's the 5 pounds of mud that's just on her bike.
Right.
Do you think the course is getting better or worse as it gets dumped on with rain?
It's not getting
Knows?
better. I don't
Depends
think.
what's under. Like if it is clay straight through, or if there's
Yeah,
like rock underneath.
I'd
'Cause-
say it looks loamy the whole way. Like,
yeah. It's like you'd think as the race goes, if there was like something solid underneath, it would get better because you'd be cutting down to it. But if it's not,
Oh, yeah.
solid
Oh, wow.
underneath, it
the
ain't
snow
gonna
is
be
now accumulating. Dude, and one of my least favorite things is having to breathe really hard when it's super cold.
Yeah.
It just does not feel good.
Feel blood in your throat and taste it.
Ooh, she got a little squirrely there.
That. Yeah.
I enjoy watching her ride too.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites.
That snowshoe when she's walking up and down the course, just like talking shit, it was
She's
awesome. She just seems like a fun person to have a beer with.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Stan, what are you watching?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stan, what are you
Still
drooling
just
about?
Hanging out a few seconds back.
It'd be better if she was behind Cammy.
I'm good.
I'm rooting for third place right now.
Yeah, she looks much quicker.
Yeah, she looks faster.
It's that power meter. It really helps her out.
She's carrying speed through the sections a little bit better too.
Yeah, she's actually getting time back right now. It is nice that we could just turn the mics off and like go walk away and stuff.
Right.
For all the stuff in Bentonville, if we do any interviews, it'll be like this.
Oh, right on. Do an interview as we're pedaling uphill, so it's just me breathing super hard.
I can't bring that up. Kellen's got the little mic that I rode off the side of the
Oh,
cliff with
yeah.
last year, though, for the phones. I just found out that Brooke from Cleveland's going to be doing some rides out there. She wanted to meet up and ride. Her and
I don't think I know who that is.
the girl.
She rode for transition for a while.
Yeah, she rode for Transition. She rode for Nuke Proof. She did like the foundation and like the women's Rampage stuff.
What's her last name?
Trine.
Oh, never
What's
heard of
her What's her fiance's?
Tommy Crail.
Yeah,
I've-
he's real good
I've
on
heard
a BMX.
that. I've heard that. Yeah, I definitely know who that is.
He's the dude that, dang it, he's the dude that backflipped the canyon gap at Rampage on a brakeless BMX
Yeah,
bike.
yeah.
Well, poop. Nina Hoffman was so expensive though to take as a rider for this.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's who I had as my other women's rider, but I don't remember.
Or she might be what Miriam Nicole might be my favorite
She's probably
Yeah.
women rider of all time. Do you like Tawny better? Oh, that was Devin. I always messed that up.
I always felt like Miriam Nicole is always incredibly consistent.
Yeah.
Like when the pink bike fantasy thing like first started, I feel like I almost always picked her because it was just like, okay, guaranteed at least second place like every race.
Yeah.
Right? She was kind of like the women's field Troy Brosnan.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, yeah. It was just
Except she won sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, always on the podium.
Yeah.
Sprocket, you like that horn? She's back though. Anna Newkirk was fast in top.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it got cold enough that the snow started to actually like
Set up a little bit.
solidify the mud underneath, like started to freeze a little.
Yeah. I wonder how much riders like enjoy using like the flight attendant thing and things like that on like a downhill bike.
Yeah.
You know, I've never
is it
used.
something that they really like, or is
Yeah,
it
like
just,
also like they probably have to have it on their bike, right?
oh yeah, it's
you
all
know.
I'm sure part of R&D and product development.
Yeah, and like if they're going to be
Even if
seen
it's
with the
just
top
data
of the
collection.
right, yeah, and if they're going to be seen with top of the line thing racing at the highest level, it's like RockShox or Fox is going to want their fancy new whatever on there.
Yeah.
Just have a thing that looks like it taped onto the top of the shock. and call it
Right,
good.
yeah. But yeah, I'd be curious what it's
Kinda like
like.
the blacked out Maxxis tires.
Oh yeah. It's like, but yeah, in practice, I wonder how.
What's the light on her bike?
I don't know, but I feel like it has just. Is that to do with
I
some
didn't
new
notice
rule
that on the
thing?
other bikes.
It's
Yeah.
the first time I've seen it.
I think maybe it probably tells you something to call it light
I mean, I
Uh,
don't know.
I don't know what that is on her bike.
It's probably.
It'd be
I bet it's
wild.
an indicator for something for.
It'd be wild if it was
Gotta
set
be.
up with the timer and it like went green.
I can't imagine
So you could
that
see
would
if you
be
were going
legal.
green.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the UCI would allow that.
Well, it's turned off
Otherwise,
right
you'd
now.
have that on every bike. Like,
I don't
to
know.
if
I
you were
feel
up or
like
down.
I feel like UCI and downhill is probably pretty loose compared because people complain about UCI with like road bikes because like all road bikes that are UCI compliant are like basically the same thing. But like with all the crazy innovation in downhill bikes, you know, like you have the specialized
see it
guys
just
with the
turned on.
push
What is
button.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's a giant light.
Yeah,
just
that looks
honor
like
bar.
a brake light.
It
Yeah.
does,
Like-
yeah. Like you'd put that on the back of your bike
Yeah.
so you don't get hit by cars or something. Yeah.
Maybe
If-
it's just the that team. The Common Salt team has it or something.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm
I don't-
curious, though.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if they did set up their own something on the track to where it would tell the rider like at a
Just
certain
green or
point.
red,
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's
whether
like
you're
a pedal indicator when to pedal, a shift indicator.
I don't know.
Does
Yeah.
she have a light?
It kind of looks
No.
like it.
Is she on?
It sure does look like she's
Oh,
got
does
one.
Is she a Common Salt rider
Maybe
also?
it's just
No.
like the transponder for the timing system.
She doesn't have a light.
Transponder's on the fork
True.
on the right side.
Yeah.
I saw yellow when she took off.
Yeah.
Oh, she does have one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like behind the bar though instead of in front.
Or is that just her top cap?
That's what I can't tell. It would be kind of neat if I don't know if it'd be good or bad if the rider knew they were up or down.
Yeah, like you get a notification
like it
halfway
would
through or something.
Matter. It's probably more up to the rider.
Yeah, it probably depends on the rider.
Someone
Yeah.
might.
Some
want
might
that
crash out if they
whatever.
see
Right,
that
yeah,
they're
'cause-
behind or.
Yeah, some people might see it and be like, "Oh, I need to like I'm going to hammer it now cuz
Yeah, if I knew I was red, well, obviously I'm always red, but if I knew,
Theoretically, if you were in the mix.
yeah, if I was green or red, it would definitely change
Oh,
how
hell
I
yeah.
was riding. She just
I know just from bike park days when I'm
Yeah,
riding and all of a sudden I hear someone on my rear wheel, my speed changes like that. I'm just like, okay, off the brakes.
if it's red, I'd probably just quit. Like, all right, well, phoning it in from here on out.
ooh, she's the first person I've seen hit that jump.
I think Nina Hoffman might have jumped it.
But it also depends how
But-
red it is, though. Because, like,
Okay,
Yeah, because you don't
gotta
know.
get points,
You
like-
don't know, right?
You
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
like,
what it's
am I
based
10
off.
seconds back or a half a second?
It could be based off of the leader, or it could be based off of like your best
per
time in
section
qualifying,
or something.
yeah,
Like,
you
hey,
never
you
know.
were slower in that section or faster on that split, or
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's just a whole lot more to think about while you're riding too at that stage.
Yeah, it's definitely yellow right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah, no idea what that
Yellow's
means.
pedal, that's my guess. Red is shift.
I feel like
Why
Do
would
you
they
think
have
that
shift
could
lights on
be?
a mountain bike?
Do you
I
think
don't
that
know.
could be something TNT Sports is using to give like the speed that they've been showing on the screen occasionally?
could be.
But they wouldn't put it there then. Because it's
Ooh.
obviously...
Nose dive into the woods there.
Like, if I had a big light there, it would bother me, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
seems
true.
pretty.
I would-
It seems
yeah.
pretty
Like, if
bright.
it was for somebody else, I bet they put it on, like, the back of the seat or something.
That's true. That's true. Because even if it was like required to be on the bar, I would probably electrical tape over it so I didn't see it.
Right. Yeah.
I could have taken Newkirk. I had the money.
You know, I bet you they probably spent like a half hour talking about what that light is. On the
Oh,
pre-show.
they probably did. Yeah. Anybody who listens to this is probably like, "You guys are such idiots."
Yeah. They talked all about this. All you guys are talking about is this light that we already heard a half hour of talking about.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
It's not unlikely.
Now I'm going to look it up.
All right, this is my other girl.
Norco?
Yeah.
Gracie's a badass. It's a nice looking bike too.
She's more ginger than I am.
Yeah, it's snowing harder.
Dude, that looks like it sucks so bad. Oh.
I would take Bragg if I could.
Oh,
this
man.
weather.
Like that, like wood
The
ramp
start
thing
ramp
is.
has gotta
Yeah.
be like, you gotta be afraid that you're just gonna lose traction taking off.
Oh yeah, you just spin. Oh man.
Come on, Ginger, pedal.
You didn't sell your soul for nothing.
We don't get a choice in that. Our parents sell our souls. That's how we get red hair. It's true. The start of the season did not go well. Her and Gloria Scarzi really wrecked my fantasy in the beginning of the season. She's little, too.
Yeah.
If she weighs 100 pounds, I'd be surprised.
See, like I don't know if I've ever heard of that Harriet something or other that was just on the screen. That's not the next rider, but the one following.
I feel like
Maybe
the
she's
end
a-
of the season I did.
The name sounds familiar.
I also feel like she did the hardline thing that we watched.
Oh, possibly.
I think so.
But I don't think she did a timed race run. I think she did like all like the
Oh right.
pre-ride
yeah,
stuff.
I was there,
Yeah.
but I didn't race. Yep.
I can't find anything on that light.
What?
I couldn't find anything on that light. I'm really curious now.
Oh, you looked it up?
Yeah.
Did you look up Miriam Nicole red
I
light?
just looked up UCI downhill.
The problem is that you start looking for stuff
Yeah,
at
you
this
gotta be
time of the
careful.
day, you're gonna find the results.
Yeah.
Half the people during the hardline thing knew the results.
I think I knew.
Yeah, you
who,
gotta-
I think
yeah.
I knew who got second, but I didn't know who won.
You're gonna search for it, and it's gonna be like,
Yeah. Oh, that.
what was the red light on Greg Menard's winning bike?
Yeah.
I know that's safe because Greg's not racing. But, like, that's what you're gonna find
Yeah.
the article
Yeah.
that named as or something.
Yeah, or it'll be like the caption or something. Be like, "Oh, race winner! This person had this light on their bike,"
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Shit."
That's what happens when you don't watch the pregame. If they didn't make it 45 minutes long,
Yeah, that was a bit much.
I'm glad you noticed that at the time you did. Or we
Yeah, the
would've
little thing popped up, and I was like, "Oof!" Another half hour.
That looks like a not so hot seat.
No, dude. I know that'd be the worst part if you are on the box, like you
They're
just
all just like huddled
yeah,
together.
you just
like,
have to sit out
freezing.
there.
If Miriam's on it, it's a hot seat.
Facts are facts.
Tastes like today. Michael, don't you wish you would have done racing instead of slopestyle now?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I would have been good at. Well, I guess I wasn't very good at slopestyle either, but I don't think. I think I would be really not
Yeah,
good at.
better than all of us. Nick and I were respectively pretty decent at downhill.
It's all right.
I was really good at under-promising and over-delivering.
That's not a bad skill to have.
Yep.
We did some real wild stuff on under suspended bikes in pretty wild places.
I will say that's probably my
Highlight?
That's probably one of my actual like bike skills I can really stand behind. I'm really good at somehow making it out alive while being extraordinarily underbiked.
I think it's just a testament to that bike. Because we did some wild stuff on those
On the
frames.
Indizas, yeah, but also like the stuff I did on my 5010.
Those were quick release rear. I just
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Riding Bone Stone.
yeah.
Oh, that Highland.
I mean, I did full downhill races on that bike. I did the Marquette downhill race and like got top 5, I think, on that bike because my downhill bike broke.
That is a cool bike. I still have the frame.
Me too. It is in the background
Oh yeah, downstairs.
of the studio. If this girl could just do worse than my 2, I would be really happy. Because I really was up in the air about picking her.
But if she wins, wouldn't she get $100,000 for having that belt on her bike?
Oh hell yeah.
Is that? Oh, that's the thing, isn't
That's
it?
still
Yep.
up for grabs.
What is
Yep.
it? A belt? Like a WWE belt or
Gates-
something?
Gates Carbon Drive put up like $100,000 just prize for anyone who wins a World Cup on a belt drive.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people this year that have switched to belt drive.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like a bounty that's out there. It's like you win a World Cup with a belt drive,
Yep.
it's $100,000.
But it hasn't been done yet, so.
They started that when I was following downhill. Like,
Well, they put that out there when you were
It's been a
watching it?
while.
when I
It's
was
been
like
like a few
regularly
years ago.
following and watching,
Yeah.
yeah, that's when they like made the announcement.
And nobody's done it yet.
No.
Okay.
No,
Well,
but yeah, there
No,
hasn't.
there's a couple guys on the Gamex team I think that came fairly close.
Yeah, that's like
Well,
none of the
top 10 or something.
right. Like none of the top teams have had a like a gearbox bike
All the
until
top teams are running SRAM or
yeah, until this year. There's starting to be like people with gearbox bikes or making like prototypes
Yeah.
that have a gearbox.
There was a time in men's downhill that only gearbox bikes won World Cup races.
Yeah.
His name was Greg Menard.
the Honda.
Blast to the past. You know what's crazy is Mick Hanna's ex-wife, Hannah. Like I've known her since I used to be decent at racing, and her kid just got his license like 2 days ago.
Dang.
So you're saying you're old? Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
Yes. Ooh.
When you first started talking about the gearbox bike and you're like, oh, here's something crazy, I was going to make the joke that you were around for it, but then you just made it yourself.
I was around way before the gearbox bike.
What
I was
it
around
like-
before full suspension.
What was it like when the automobile got invented?
Yeah, you used to.
It really changed things.
Your downhill days used to be like the kamikaze, right?
Just after.
Full spandex on a gravel road.
I mean,
that stuff looks so
I'm
sketchy.
not gonna lie though, that does
So-
look not
so
only
sketchy.
yeah, it looks hardcore.
Yeah,
and
dude.
fun as
And those,
shit.
those dudes are always just like, it's just like a water runoff across the road, and they're just getting
Yeah.
bucked the whole time, and their seats
Yeah.
super high, and I'm like, dude, that looks sketch.
There was a few years ago, Bob and I were talking about trying to get kind of like a little clunker series going where bikes had to be at least like no disc brakes, and like we just had like this. Like frames had to be like 15 years or old, 15 years old or older, no disc brakes, and like we just had like a handful of rules, and we wanted to do like a little slalom thing and like race around the skills park and all that, but we never did do it. It would be fun one of these
It'd
days
be one
do
thing
that.
to get on that bike and get used to it, like when you had to, but at the point where you're switching between like the modern bikes and then having to go back, that's where you're gonna have the trouble and go back and forth between a modern bike and the.
It's like riding a BMX bike at the skate park for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, shit, the bike that I'm riding every day now is my cargo rig with the big basket on the front and a dog on my back and a 20-inch front wheel and a 26-inch rear wheel with BMX bars. Like,
You're ready for the downhill park.
yeah.
Did you buy your Boyne Highland season pass yet?
I am going to upgrade my V-brakes, though. They're not great. I need
I-
to lace up a new 20-inch front wheel that I can put a disc on so I can at least have a disc brake up front because those V-brakes
20-inch
get a little
disc
scary.
hub?
Yeah. Well, I got a little 20-inch cliffhanger. I just need to lace it to a hub.
I might have standard axle or QR axle
Okay.
disc hub downstairs you could have for free.
I'd
It's in your
appreciate
price range.
it. Heck yeah. That's
I don't
what-
know the
that's
whole
exactly my
count.
price range.
It's probably a 32 XT.
Okay. Yeah, if that's what it is, I'll take it.
So she's probably the closest. Well, I guess she's third on that first split, but
She's also the British national champion, right? Or is that
yeah,
Australia?
yeah, it's Britain.
Their flags are
Also,
so similar.
belt drive bike.
I've never ridden a belt drive bike. I
Oh!
worked on some.
Lost
She's
to
not going to
that.
win 100 grand.
Nope,
Nope.
not today. Yeah, I'd be interested in trying a bike with a gearbox
Yeah.
just to see what it
I've
feels
never,
like.
I've never ridden a gearbox bike, but I've ridden belt drive bikes, and I love it.
I mean, they gotta be extremely quiet, I assume.
I built a couple when I was working at 616 and like did a couple single speed belt drive bikes.
Oh yeah,
And just like taking them for test rides, like it was really cool.
interesting.
The guy at
And,
the gym's got a cross country one.
Dude, a belt drive bike with an Onyx hub
Oh, it's gotta, yeah,
is
dude.
so sick. It's just dead
Stealth
silent.
mode, yeah.
That's gotta be so. That's gotta be so weird to like get on a bike. Does it have any? When you push, is it like feel like soft?
No, it's actually really good.
Is it?
Like the engagement feels a lot more solid than you would think.
Why is there just a person on the track?
What the hell?
What is this guy doing?
They didn't even mention
Well,
it.
Yeah, why are the announcers not
What?
freaking out about this? Oh, yeah, that's super annoying. I wonder if she'll try and get a rerun out of it, but then
Ugh.
again, the track's also not great, so is it even worth trying it again?
But she fell earlier, so if she did get a rerun, it'd be kind of a big
yeah,
deal.
yeah, that's
True.
true, because,
If you could use that as a rerun,
yeah, the points difference between finishing
I mean, she should
13th
get a
and-
rerun if she wants one for that.
how many Polish people does it take to
Right.
get in the way?
Yeah, that's frustrating.
What is that gold blanket?
It's
That's
an
like one of those,
emergency blanket.
yeah, like all the marathon runners wear them after
They're
they.
usually silver, not gold.
I think they have a similar effect though. I always like, because they after marathons, you know, they hand out all those blankets to everybody, and I was like, I did.
They're talking about it right now. Sorry.
Oh, you know, like after marathons, they get the little blanket thing, and I did that 166-mile gravel race, and it was like there was no blankets. Like I just got in my truck and went to McDonald's. like I don't know why they have the blankets after. I mean, marathon is
The
super
last
physical,
time I ran
but
a marathon, they gave me one. I don't know.
Was
I've
it when
never
you were?
ran a
Was,
marathon.
I'd
Yeah,
say,
I
was,
know.
it,
like-
Michael's kind of looking at me like, what? It's like, no, I've never run a marathon.
was it when you were on mushrooms?
yeah.
No.
Where you thought you ran a marathon?
Probably could if I was on mushrooms. Who knows?
Does she go for a rerun? That is the question.
God, that'd be so frustrating.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? That was a puddle. Like, it ate the wheel, and you didn't even know it was there because it just looked like a little
Yeah, a
bit of
little
water on the trail.
Are they gonna play with that?
Sprocket,
Oh, I thought that was gonna be the
those
spot.
beers in
with
that bag aren't for you.
They can be, if he likes them. Oh. Oh, no. This means I did see who won this race.
Well,
You're the
don't
one that was
don't give
like-
it away, dude.
You're so mad.
I did so good with Instagram, I thought. I did not. Orbea bikes always look pretty sweet.
Very thin top tubes.
Even on their enduro bikes, my whole knowledge is based on Pink Bike Academy.
I really liked the Orbea bike. I
Yeah.
was really close to it.
I've heard really good things about it, but I've never ridden one or anything.
I don't even know if I've seen one in person or not.
Oh, really? There are a couple people around.
Like knowingly, I
I've
guess.
seen them on the backs of cars around here, but I've never.
Yeah.
Oh, Dylan's got one. I've ridden his.
Ooh, she's up. She's the first one to be up at the first split.
She's looking good.
I thought she retired.
Yeah, she was
She
out for a
got
while.
injured
She had a
for-
concussion real bad.
Yeah, she had a really bad couple seasons after that.
I thought
This
she
is looking good for her.
had the same career path as that. Who was that other girl that she went down really hard at Fort William and then never really came back? Her name starts with an M.
Michaela Parton.
Nope. Before then. Her dad got her into BMX. I'm blanking on her name. She was like one of my favorites of all time, the way she rode.
Oh, Man and Carpenter.
Yep.
I loved Man and Carpenter.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my
We
God.
all did. This is back when we used to all watch the races together. We'd always
Yeah.
root for her.
She's such a badass too. Like, you ever seen her like just on a 20 in a skate park?
Yeah, she's sweet.
She's got such good flow in a skate park too.
Pump track, everything. I think she's an influencer now. I wonder if she'll
thought
be in
she-
Bentonville.
See, I thought she left to go back to. I thought she went to school and went to college.
She did, but she still does bike stuff. Like, I still follow her Instagram. I should look and see if she's on the Bentonville thing. Me and Michael both fell. Well, one of us fell and the other one almost hit each other. And I can't remember who did which at Bentonville Bike Fest the first year that you came with us. And then Bernard Kerr was standing in the corner and was like, "Oh, that's tricky, eh?"
I don't. What trail was that on?
All American, when we raced right from downtown in that first left-hand turn, we like
Oh,
cooked
yeah.
into it. Like everyone was falling in there.
Yeah. That was, you were in front and you went around the corner and I was going straight. That's what it was.
Oh, that looked a little wild in there.
And then he fell in the same corner.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It'll be really interesting what this last split says, and then it'll be all up for the final wood section.
If Pink Bike brought back Pink Bike Academy, I'd be willing to do broadcasts like how my dad does like regular Survivor League with the reality shows where you like for regular Survivor they all draft participants
Oh, jeez.
after the first episode. Like you
Wait,
watch the
it's
first episode.
Fantasy Survivor.
Yeah, you watch the first episode and you
Dude,
pick who you think's gonna win, and then like you buy in for money.
If you do that, you
What?
can delete my phone number. But Tani's about to go in the
Hell
first.
yeah.
Sure is. 1.7 seconds.
Good for her.
Somewhere Devin's having a good time. He probably doesn't like her anymore because he's like basically married again.
I thought he was married, like actually married.
Is he?
I thought so. I don't know. I haven't talked to Devin in like 4 years.
He was just
probably.
with Jesse.
I just he came to town God, probably about a month or so ago. I hung out with
Really?
him. Yeah. He was in town.
Wow.
He has to come in and fly in for work stuff occasionally.
Oh.
So, but I saw him for an evening. He's doing good.
If I would have known that, I would have invited him to come on the podcast because he has got a competitive podcast.
Competitive.
It would be fun to talk to him about the whole thing. I must admit that I have not listened to an episode of his podcast, but I'm pretty sure it's different by a lot than ours.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it.
We just tell stupid stories about like pooping in porta potties and stuff like that. I think he like talks about like real bike stuff.
Probably. It's probably a different type of substance.
Ours is a podcast about road trips that centers around bikes, and his is a podcast about bikes.
It
Period.
has a little bit of road trip.
That
He
bike's
was actually
sweet.
telling me he's got kind of like a mobile podcast set up, so like when they're driving between parks and stuff, like he can do it all. They got like set up on the dashboard, so just like while he's driving, he can do stuff.
We've talked about doing it while we're driving, just to pass the time. I guess if we were going to do it, it'd probably be this 12.5-hour drive we're about to
that'd
do.
be a good trip to do it.
When is it?
Next weekend.
We leave Thursday.
Okay.
Why, you want to come?
I'm not gonna be able to do that one. I am trying to visit him sometime in the next month, though. Visit Andy.
Ooh, 3 seconds back.
But
That drop was
my
actually-
normal dog sitter isn't gonna be able to watch Sprocket for a while, so now I'm trying to figure something else out.
Just take him with you.
We'll see.
She looks fast.
If you're talking about going down to Bentonville, right, to visit Andy?
Yeah.
Because Stan and Andy's daughter Addie they're tight.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
they're hilarious to watch.
Yeah, she's
She's not got her normal flow.
no.
I think she just lost it. The first quarter was really good.
It looks less rainy.
It does.
Look at all this littering, all these tear-offs all over the course.
Oh yeah. Lost another 3.5 seconds.
Tani was on it.
Unfortunately, I saw.
Well, don't give it away.
I think it's pretty.
Unfortunately, you saw Valley just like completely open it up and slay the last.
Yeah, she came back and made up 7 seconds and like brought her home. No, the only thing I saw on Instagram all day was someone in pink celebrating with champagne,
Oh.
and I
Yeah,
thought it was
it's-
the Enduro because it was an Orbea.
Yes, because I saw enduro results this morning, and I was like thrown off by it, and like also it was like one of them like had the women's on there, and I had no clue who the names were, and I was like, who even are these people? And then I saw it
There's
said
another light.
EDR.
That one's blue.
She has a light?
Yeah, it's blue.
Valley's was blue.
Weird. Oh yeah.
What the hell? Maybe it's their coach, like, sending him messages.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Because it's not like they're watching live. Like, this isn't live. Like, when we've been at Snowshoe,
I mean, it could be like spotters, team spotters that are like sending info, but I don't.
I could never like receive info while I'm riding and like change stuff. I don't think I'd have to like think about it before.
for downhill, it would be hard. Because, like, you've got a plan, you're going to execute
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
you're not
you're
changing
already-
your plan in the middle
Yeah,
of
cross country, that's different.
Cross country, I could see that being a massive help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when it's yeah, downhill, you're already planning on.
Yeah, you already know where you're gonna
full
break
gas,
and
exactly
Yeah.
what you're
Oh,
doing.
just ride fast as possible. All right. Yep. Got
Yeah,
it.
like cross country, you're like, okay, I'm gonna save some here. I'm gonna like push harder here. I'm gonna do this. Like,
yeah.
So when did FMD Racing switch over to Orbea from Canyon?
this year, I think, is the
This
first
year?
year on Orbea.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she was still on Canyon.
I did too until I saw her come down.
Like I said, I didn't know
So
who.
I didn't even think Orbea had a downhill bike. I thought they were just running dual crowns on their enduro bike.
that
is
bike,
the
she's
downhill bike.
yeah, and it's like a prototype.
Okay.
The unveiling of taking the neoprene off was a big deal,
Okay.
and I thought it was their enduro bike, and I didn't. I thought she had retired. So I guess as soon as they showed her in pink with that Orbea, I was like, well, poop. Now I know, but I have no idea about the men's. So we'll wrap this up in a second as soon as we see who the top 5 were. I've definitely done that, Miriam, where I keep my helmet on just to stay warm and keep the rain out of my face. Ooh, a 4th and an 8th. I can deal with that.
You going for Yeti? Give me a block.
Well, sweet. And we will pause this. I'll insert some music here, and then we'll start the men's and give you a timestamp. Welcome back to the men's broadcast. We started to jump ahead, kind of like we did with the women's, but turns out they started it right away on the live broadcast. So set your timestamp to 7 minutes and 23 seconds, and you can start it in 3, 2, 1, go.
So Danny Hart's on Norco now?
First year.
Hell yeah. Dude, that sucked when he was like kind of in limbo there and got kind
Yeah.
of screwed with everything. Oh, I'm happy to see he's got a good bike.
I don't know any of these people.
Richie Foods Racing?
Yeah, he did really well.
No shit.
He seems to do downhill more and more the past couple
Oh,
years.
Lucas Shaw, I know
him.
I rode Lachlan Stevens McNabb all through last season.
Yeah, he was like the ideal pick last year. He was so cheap and just always did well.
I had him and Amory Pirion, and it carried me to a solid 2nd place.
Yeah. Well, the weather's consistent.
Not good.
Yeah, dude, I went for a bike ride yesterday and it was super windy. I was like, the wind's gonna suck, but whatever. And then I rode north of Kalamazoo, and then it just started raining, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, didn't know it was gonna do this, so I got nice and wet.
Was that on your road bike or your gravel bike?
Gravel bike.
And today you rode your road bike?
Correct. That's all I have to say about that.
Well,
But
how many
yes.
bikes are you bringing to Bentonville?
4 probably. I'm not taking the road bike.
Gravel, dirt jumper, cross country, and enduro.
Yep.
My enduro bike works so much better now that I got it back.
Yeah, I had to put a whole bunch of air in my rear shock the other day when I went and rode it.
Did you gain weight or just lose air?
It just lost air.
Yeah, I remember in my mid-30s I had leaky seals all the time too. I just had to keep adding air every time I rode it. What do you got, Sprocket? What are you getting? A bunch of my riders go right away. I was unaware of the new rule changes for this year.
With like the LCQ and stuff.
Yeah, there's no protected riders anymore.
That's kind of sweet.
None?
But then there's a last chance qualifier,
Yeah.
like Moto or.
Yeah, it's like I think is it the top 10 from the LCQ go to the final or something?
I do not know the rules. I just heard of it for the first time at Wallfield. 10 minutes before I saw you
Yeah,
guys.
I saw something about it yesterday.
I like watching the Supercross LCQ because it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
like a
it's exciting.
disaster. It's just like
oh, I mean, everyone's going for it. At
yeah,
that
and,
point.
and they're just
That's your last shot.
yeah, everybody's just like crashing out over.
Apparently, there was controversy for this race with Amory.
Well, he fell like twice in a row in his qualifier run.
At some point, I guess he missed one of the course markers. I don't know if it was his LCQ or his regular.
Oh, I just saw the clip of him like he like slid out and then he like went off a drop or something and then slid down the landing or something weird.
So Wynn's privateer project, he's got like a team now?
It's new to me.
If it's a privateer project and there's a team, are they really privateers?
Well, I mean, the way he was
Probably
doing
no-
it for
no money
the way
involved.
he was doing it for a while was really good, but I didn't know. It sounds like they've got something more substantial set up.
He's on an old GT.
He is on a GT. Yeah,
Just-
Wynn posted something on like in his Instagram story. It was like, oh, if there's like any privateers that like need a spot to stay or whatever, like we got room for
Yeah.
one at our place.
Maybe he's got it set up with like a team tent, and it's just like, hey, if you need pit
Yeah,
space, here it is.
Yeah, we have some resources.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I mean, like, listening to all his old stories from when he was a privateer and the shit that he used to do is wild.
Daniel Hart.
Is he rocking a mullet?
he's probably that probably makes him a little bit more aerodynamic.
He's not the type of guy I would expect that from.
When I want to feel better about myself at the gym, I just watch the workouts he does with Adam Brayton and Danny Hart and the one other guy. And watching Danny Hart try to lift weights makes me feel better about myself every time. He's like doing CrossFit with just the bar, like wooden spacers on the end.
I almost like knocked him like flat on his ass at Windrock one year. We were like walking through the pits and like he was looking down on his phone and I was like coming around the corner and like he bumped into me and like stumbled back and like almost fell over.
I ran into Danny McCaskill, same situation,
Yeah.
coming out of the bathroom in Bentonville.
These guys are dropping so fast.
Yeah, the early guys, it's like right away.
I thought Goldstone was like on the faster side of the.
He is. He's my number one rider on my team.
I might have him
he
as
wastes
well.
Time with, he just wastes too much time with like the spins and flips and boring stuff, you know.
Boring stuff.
I'm sorry, that was just for you, Mike.
Oh, he's coming back.
Yeah, he's pulling it back. Well, he was also out for all of last year, right?
Yeah, he
I think
broke.
so, yeah.
Yeah, he messed
Broke
up his
his-
knee or leg or something.
Yeah, right at his knee at hardline.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Really?
Danny Hart beat him? What?
I thought he was gonna pull it in at the
We
end.
got
there.
Finn Isles.
Tires mud. Yeah, I'd suspect so.
Oh, I thought that you were saying the guy's name. And I
No,
realized it was Finn.
yeah. Next up, we got tires mud on course.
Well, who spells tires that way?
Everyone across the pond.
Yeah.
Tell me you've never bought tires from Chain Reaction or anything like that before.
Yes.
Oh man, you're missing out. That used to be the cheapest spot to get them.
He's got a green light.
Yeah. See, is that saying
That's
he's
specialized
up?
now.
It must be.
Let's get. Ooh.
Yeah.
Green light might mean he's winning then.
Well, we're not going to find out because he was green all the way.
God, it looks shitty again.
I almost took this dude.
Yeah, they're not even
Weather's
like.
changing quick, eh?
They're not talking to him at the end. They're just like.
I mean, I don't think the weather's changing that fast. I think they're still dropping 4 minutes apart, and they just have it compressed for the broadcast.
True.
No, it should be live.
Usually, don't they talk to some of the riders at the end, or is it just like?
Well,
only
they always
the
go back and show the start
will.
again. So the start. Is
Oh,
never
right.
li-
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the start is a replay. Yeah, I kind of hate when people like on the internet will be like, I wish they would show the whole run of every single
Yeah,
rider.
no,
I'm
I
like,
don't want that.
dude, it would take 8 hours. Like it would take
Like
so long.
I love
Yeah.
watching it, but that's too much for me.
Well, that's what they did with on GSN when you guys were talking about that earlier. Like when GSN had it, they would show
GCN?
like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The crappy thing that we had before this.
I only ever did it through Max. I never did the GCN thing.
Oh, we had for a year. We watched it that way, and they showed like every second of every run, and it was awful.
Yeah, like Rampage, super cool event, but dude, it takes so long.
Yeah, the replay is definitely the better way
Yeah,
to watch
it's just
that.
like it's such an all-day affair.
Yeah, I like just watching the highlights. that's one of the ones that the
It
highlights are good to
depends.
watch.
If I'm watching it on my own, I wait for the highlights. If I've got like a crew of people to watch it
yeah,
with,
if it's like a
I
party or
enjoy,
something.
like,
Last
making a
year, I
bit
did
of
watch
it.
all of Rampage, but I bought a very large Lego set, and I just like
Dude,
did
hell
that
yeah.
all day, just like put that thing together while watching Rampage.
That
So
sounds like
That's a good way to
day.
do it. That sounds like
Yeah.
a fun day.
yeah, because it's just like kind of gives you something else to do, you
Yeah.
know, kind of.
Jeez, oh Pete.
So is all the Legos around here? That's Courtney, right? Or
No.
is that you?
There's a mix under the table right now.
Okay. But you guys are both Lego
Yeah.
people. Okay. Is the Harry Potter set yours or hers?
Hers. She's into the Harry Potter Legos.
Nice.
I'm more of a free builder.
Oh, okay. Do you just have like
free
trails
ride
that you've built?
Yeah, say
Like
free ride till you die, huh?
free builder.
I really enjoy.
You're
Is this like
you're
a
a
thing?
Lego Freemason,
Dude, that's
brick by brick.
when I was a kid, like elementary school, I used to compete in all kinds of Lego competitions.
Oh, yeah?
And it wasn't until like last year that I started
What's
doing it again.
Isn't it called
When
the
did they stop having Lego
MOC or
competition?
something?
Well, they didn't have a name for it back in the 80s.
Yeah.
You're competing again?
Yeah.
Where at?
What's the heck's the brewery called?
Eastern Keel, no.
No.
Archival
No, it's the one at the pickleball court.
by the pickleball court.
Yeah, the brewery down off 29th Street.
No, I don't know.
Broadleaf.
Oh,
Okay.
Free building's like more of a lifestyle, you know.
yeah.
It's kind of like Soul Skaters.
Yeah.
Easy on the souls. No. No, what they do is it's like $25 or whatever to enter as a team of two, and they scoop all these Legos from their bulk bins at the used Lego store, and they just put them in a big plastic bag. So none of them, there's like not matching bricks. You just have a bag of bricks, and you show up. They set the bag of bricks on your table 5 minutes before the start of it. They tell you the theme of what it's going to be, and you're not allowed to open your bag yet. And then they say, go. And you've got 1 hour to build whatever into the theme. And then there's judges that go around. You win, like, gift cards and Lego
way.
sets and stuff. It's really fun. Frickin' Sean Winhalla from Freewheeler Bike Shop has beat our ass multiple times.
I used to be really into that, like connects and shit like that, and I would do that stuff, but I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, we've won a couple and gotten a lot of second places, but Sean is actually very good. He's in this Lego adult group that they have all the sales where like the different Myers have them go on sale at different times and Targets and stuff.
That's funny.
He's got a whole room in his house dedicated to Legos.
way.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I think underneath the table in front of us there's a Viking village and also this 3-in-1 with panda, penguin,
Oh, nice.
and orcas.
Yeah, I went into the Lego store around Christmas to get some like small Christmas gifts for people, and I like came back and told my boss I was there, and he was like kind of making fun of me, like, "Oh, Lego store, really?" And I was like, "Dude, I promise you, if you go in there, you will love it. And he was like, I don't know. And then a few days later, he was at the mall getting some last minute presents, and he like comes into work the next day. He's like, so I was at the mall last night. Went to that Lego store. It was fucking badass. Like, he was like,
The used Lego store's fun too. Last time I was visiting Colton, I built my favorite Lego set that I've ever built, the Razor Crest from The Mandalorian.
oh, nice.
That thing's awesome. Colton loves Legos and loves collecting Legos, but he doesn't love building them, which is the
Fucking
weird.
insane to me. Fucking insane.
Courtney likes taking them apart more than she likes putting them together.
What?
Which is insane to me.
Yeah.
See, I don't think I would ever take. I think I would be the person that would like build it, put it together, and it would just sit on the shelf. And
Yes,
that's where it is.
exactly.
Did you see all the Harry Potter ones in our spare bedroom over there?
No.
We have a roommate who's
this might
coming
be
back,
exciting.
hopefully not in the middle of this broadcast. Courtney's cousin is currently living with us.
Oh, nice.
He works in the alcohol department at Meyer, so right outside the garage door, there's all kinds of different things if you would like to try anything.
Okay.
They're at about 50 degrees out there. Not cold, not hot. He changed teams this year, right? Loris
Yeah, he's
Rogier?
on Common Sol now.
I was just noticing that.
Oh, weird. Another fast Frenchman on Commensal.
Well, also the dude just before
Holy cow.
Dylan Maples on Common
so
Sol
good.
and American. So
I've always liked him.
I love Loris.
So do I.
He's going so fast that you could like physically see his fork flex when it hits something.
oh, that looked a little hairy.
It's a big change for him. He's always been, as long as I can remember, SRAM rock shot guy.
Well, he used to be Fox.
When?
Because
He was on the Specialized
yeah.
team and LaPierre and then Specialized.
Yeah, because he
then
and
Santa
Jordy
Cruz.
together. I loved watching them talk.
Oh yeah,
When he was on Specialized, wasn't it Olin's?
but Santa Cruz. Oh, maybe.
When he was on Santa
'cause it was
Cruz,
when
Santa
Gwynn
Cruz
was on there.
Santa Cruz was Fox though.
yeah,
So,
yeah. When he left Santa Cruz is when he went to Rock Shocks.
What's is Commensal Schramm or Shimano?
SRAM.
this team is Shimano. Oh, it's red. He's got a red light.
No, it should be SRAM. I mean, he's got RockShox suspension.
That's not a Fox 40?
No, I don't think so.
No, that is Rock Shocks. You're right. I can see the crown.
Yeah, the different
Yeah,
Commensal teams.
Commensal Muck-Off, I think, is Rock Shocks. Commensal used to have, what, 3 teams? Do they have 2 now? Or
More. Like,
There was a
3 or 4.
There was a bunch of them. There was like the Dorval team and
See, I thought
don't
the
know.
Dorval team went away.
Then yeah, it did.
Okay.
And there used to be like the 100%. Dug her in there on that right-hander.
He just turned right and stopped with his face.
Oh, looks like his bike is.
The bars looked like they went Chicago.
That's where Dakota went down when he was up after he qualified first last year.
Oh, really?
Yup. That set of turns right before that drop. God, that was so hard to watch him wash the front wheel out right there. I just remember when he falls, like, I physically get sick almost.
Yeah, I've never heard of this guy before.
Me either.
This isn't the guy that used to wear jeans, is it?
I don't think
No.
so.
He was Italian.
He was Italian.
He was
I can't remember that guy's name though.
the Denim Destroyer.
Yeah, yeah.
He was,
Wait,
I was going to say something Johannes or something.
Yes, it was something Johannes. Because I think he
oh,
was
it
like a
Emil's brother.
no.
Then because he
No, but
raced
didn't
downhill
he
too.
run like a dumpling shop or something like that?
Yes, and
Yeah,
but
like a
like because I think
family
he's like
restaurant.
Italian, but like speaks German because like super far north in
Yeah.
Italy or something. Yeah, it was like his parents own a bakery or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like he didn't continue racing to like run the family restaurant or something.
everyone loved him because he wore jeans.
Oh, he was great.
And like he'd have his phone in his pocket.
Yeah. Well, like, he rode like us, or like me at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know like what the team is this guy's on, or anything.
It said Fiero. There's that Fiero tire.
He's riding.
That's a Santa Cruz, right?
It
Yeah.
looks like a V10, yeah.
Yup.
He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, he's not that far off.
The fantasy league gets so much easier once people start accumulating points, but this isn't going to be a good.
Yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot. Like it's
That's such a long bike, and it makes it look so small.
That's how.
Menard was.
Well, Kool-Aid, Cologne. Courtney calls him the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, yeah.
I think he looks like the Red Bomber. He just like he rides in it.
Walk along.
Yeah, his elbows are like above his head. when
that
he
dude
rides.
is super tall.
I love watching that guy ride. It is very different than how I would ride a bike. Because I'm not 6'9". Ooh!
He got unclipped.
It's funny because these
He's lost
Rainy-
a bunch of time.
the rainy races are probably the least entertaining to watch until they're not. And then they're super exciting.
Yeah.
Where like
Well,
a
yeah,
dr-
because we're in that
Oh, he
part
clipped out
where it's
again.
like nobody's gonna go faster, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like nobody can improve. But then at some point, it's gonna start improving, and it's gonna be wild.
I will say the fact that Amory and Finn and Loris
Yeah,
have
they all
already
started
gone,
early,
though,
yeah.
too, though, like, is
but those were like the last chance guys that got in. So now
Yeah.
there's going to be this lull of
Until we get to the
crap
top end.
riders.
true. Oh, so the LCQs, they don't slot them in on, like, overall qualifying time?
I don't
they,
think
they
so.
We have
start-
no idea.
Gotcha.
I assume not, but
we were very
yeah.
unprepared.
Yeah, because this is
Yeah.
another common salt team, but this
The
is
way it
the
works in
muck-off team.
Supercross is like all the people who qualify and they don't quite make it, then that's their last chance, and the top 5 of that get put into the finals.
Yeah, but what we're saying is we don't know where they slot them into the
Oh,
finals.
you don't know what the number is?
Like when they go.
It would seem with the group of riders that we saw go
Yeah, that
down
they
in
go
a row
first, yeah.
that they would put them at the bottom of the
Right.
order,
yeah.
'Cause it's just gonna-
rather than where they're, like,
not
Yeah.
where their actual new time
Time
slot
was,
would
yeah.
be. Yeah.
So are we still in the last chance qualifier right now?
I don't
we're in the
think.
finals.
No,
right
this is the
now.
fun. This is Pure Ant's brother.
One of them.
Yeah. The lesser known.
They're all fast. Is it Antoine, Amory, and Baptiste? Is there another one, too?
I think that's.
I think
it.
that's I think that's it.
And they're all World Cup riders.
Yeah, there's a common solve with Rock Shock.
Yeah, I feel like that same, like that fourth sector or whatever, they all lose a decent amount of time.
I would like to see Richie Rude do well.
I would really like to see that, too.
You know what's funny is I saw him in my fantasy draft thing, and I was like, man, he doesn't typically.
I don't pick him because I never know if he's gonna do the race or not.
That's exactly what I
Because
thought.
he just does like certain ones.
Turns out if I would have taken him instead of Lolly, it would be in a better spot.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that somebody like the celebration after somebody wins that with a belt drive or something.
Bike Center
Man, that
something.
feels so good.
Yeah, this is that same team as that other Italian guy.
I still want to know about the lights.
Oh.
Yes.
It's been more prevalent in the men's field than the women so far.
I wonder if Miriam Nicole had it like over the front just so it's not shining straight in her face.
Yeah.
It would be distracting, I feel like.
Yeah, it looks pretty vibrant.
Finn Isles was like shining in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked like Jim Carrey on The Mask coming down.
said the same to me. Breaks really struggle. They always are in these conditions. When you get so much standing water on the track,
I'm surprised more of them don't have brake guards on.
I've noticed a couple.
I saw a couple too.
Yeah. Like they don't have them. I think all the teams that do, a lot of them are just having them 3D printed or something.
I feel like we saw quite a few when we were at Snowshoe, like live.
Ooh, that was
Just rode
so
off
bad.
the top of that berm.
Right onto a rock too.
Yeah, he stuck his shoulder in the ground there pretty good.
That always sucks. And he did not. That ground did not give.
No, it didn't. Yeah, that's going to be a stiff shoulder tomorrow.
He's running flats.
Wouldn't you in that condition?
I would too, but I haven't seen a lot of flats so far.
Also, would you ever ride clips?
I would never ride clips, but most of these guys do. Don't you ride clips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you in this condition?
Probably because I'd forget to bring other pedals with me. Or I also wouldn't have other shoes to ride with flats.
Well, I remember talking to Dakota his like second year doing the World Cup, and it rained at every race, and he had to learn to ride flats like during the race season.
When I did the Tennessee National, when it was really muddy, that was on flats. Which I mean, I only dabbed a foot one time, but I don't know. I feel like mallets feel like flats. And if
I
you
always wanted
and
to try mallets.
And if you got some really worn out cleats, you can get in and out of them super easy. So, like you don't even have to think about it or anything.
I rode clips one time, one lap on the BMX track. I took them off. I never rode them again.
I
did-
used
It
to
was
race 'em.
terrifying.
I forced myself to like give like a good full summer of riding clipless pedals, and like that was when I was riding mostly cross country, and I had like some XT like trail pedals, so there was some platform there. But it's still, I don't know. I had a cheap pair of like plastic Shimano downhill ones that had more of a platform that were decent, but I don't know. I never felt like I got enough out of it to like really justify it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the person who does better by keeping off my brakes and not pedaling than pedaling harder.
So I mean, on like a downhill thing, I don't think like, to me it's not about pedal efficiency. The one thing I like is that I know that my feet are exactly where I want them to be on the pedals.
yeah.
Because on flats, especially if you got super grippy pedals and shoes, I feel like you put a foot down, you put it back
slip
on,
and it sticks.
and then you're like standing on your heel or something, and then you're like going through rocks and your feet are all awkward.
You
and
got to kind of roll through it until you can get to a spot where
yeah,
you can
like I always
I
kinda
get
hated
that.
There's Cologne right there, and he's got his disc brake covers on, just
Yeah.
cruising.
He's up.
I love watching this guy ride. I've thought about. I want to try the magnet pedals.
Yeah.
But
I would like to try those. Those look intriguing.
the main thing with clipless is I don't like my foot being in the same spot all the time. There's
Yeah.
for different things I like it in different places, and I can't. It's not like a dropper post where I can like hit a button and slide my cleat forward and back depending on what I'm doing.
I do change my
Truth-
feet all the time, like depending on where I'm riding or what.
Well, for what it's
Truthfully, I
worth,
think I would prefer it on downhill to cross country for being clipped in, just because of kind of exactly what you were just saying.
Yeah, your feet
It's-
probably don't get bounced around as much.
Yeah,
That-
cross
yeah.
country and like if I'm gonna be just like on the bike for a while, I do move my feet around a lot. But like I can absolutely see where like when you're really pushing it, like it is nice to be able to just have
so
them.
clips can be also important if you are doing something like cross country or something. Not so much for the pedal efficiency, but like if you're gonna ride for a really long time, and if you're like, if your foot position is wrong, like that can cause injuries. So
Yeah, all
after
sorts of hip and
hours,
knee
yeah,
issues and
because
stuff, yeah.
you're pedaling for so have a little tiny irritation. That's every pedal stroke. Multiply that by 20,000 pedal strokes, and then all of a sudden, like your knees hurt for 2 weeks.
He
Yeah.
broke his chain.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I also
Use the
feel like
first-
if you're doing long rides, you can change muscle groups with clips. I mean, I don't know
mean-
if that's something that a lot of people do, but if you move from pushing down to
I
maybe
wouldn't re-
sticking with
as
pulling
I
up,
wouldn't
but-
recommend that for super long rides personally, because you'll end up having your your foot in a not optimal position to where you don't either have like good power or you're gonna end up causing injuries with your knees or something.
Yeah.
And
So I'm gonna go on the complete opposite side of this because anytime I do a longer ride clipped in, I have massive knee issues.
then I would say your bike fit's not good.
I agree, but I do the same rides on flats and I don't have knee problems at all.
Yeah.
Where do you
And I
ride?
do them rather fast.
But where do
so,
you ride your cleats at on the shoe?
Well, I've tried them in a whole bunch of different places, but the last one, look, I rode the whole Zwift season with it. The shoes set up that way, and it was okay on the trainer.
I think generally speaking, so I guess you want them between these metatarsals or whatever, but like the further back it is, the less, I guess, less risk of like injuring your knee is possible. All the downhill dudes, they run their cleats slammed as far back as they can go,
Yeah.
but that's just for like to minimize forces into their feet, so their
Yeah.
foot's not such a lever.
I usually ran mine pretty far back. I don't think they were ever fully slammed, but I don't know. Like I say, I enjoyed it when I did it, but then I went back to went to a really high end flat and like good sticky 510s.
Yeah.
And then I was like really into that. I went back, did like a couple more rides clipped in, and then
He's on my team.
and right back to flats, and I've never really gone back.
I will say one thing that does feel sick about clips is if you're riding and you like put a foot down or something for like a corner and then you just like slam your foot like effortlessly
And you just
straight
get it
back
right
into the
back
clip,
in.
like that feels
Really
super
satisfying.
Yeah,
I
that's
could
all,
see that.
that feels cool.
I think one of the problems I have with it is that I've had 3 surgeries on my lefty and 1 on my right. So the
Could be.
cleat placement ends up being slightly different because I have to favor.
My cleats are different on my shoes for my left and right.
Yeah, 'cause I have
Well,
to
I
favor that
remember-
knee that has less cartilage in it.
My left foot, I should say, hangs lower than my right foot too, so that's like part of it.
I remember being back when I was in shape. You and I were riding somewhere, and it was when you were trying to ride cleats because you were training for something that you needed to ride cleats, and you were having such
You was
bad knee
loose.
issues. You and I switched shoes and bikes mid-ride, and like I just rode yours, and
I did that
You
with
took
Jesse
mine,
too
yeah.
on a long bike path ride. Like not even like putting effort in. Like I mean we're putting effort in because we
Yeah.
rode like 60 miles, but
That was
Ooh,
so.
that was fucking spicy.
Yeah, this
That
dude is,
would have been really fast if he was able to do it.
this is not the person I have on my team. I realized.
I don't know-
Timo's badass too.
I don't remember what team he rides for now. Because he left the
He's
Common
not on.
Salt.
He's not on Common Salt.
No, I think last year might have been his first year on whatever team he's on now.
Yeah, because he got
Is that
kind
an
of
Uno?
kicked off the team, right?
Oh, I don't know why he's not on Common Salt, I guess, but
I thought he had some issues and he got kicked
that bike
off.
looks very
Looks like he's-
V10-esque.
He is the Jamie Tart of downhill racing.
Yeah, maybe.
Works out though, 'cause Jamie's great in the end.
Oh, he's lost it. See, dude, that section, dude, that 4th time split, like so many people lose time there.
I'm rewatching Ted Lasso currently.
I've been thinking about rewatching it for like a 3rd time now. It's
This
so
is my
good.
3rd time, and it's a totally different watch. It's awesome. Could you picture Nick Garrison as Roy Kent?
A little bit.
Because now that I've made that connection, it's better. And Nick Slayton is
Yeah.
very much Ted Lasso, so
Yeah. Am I still Beard?
you are pretty bearded.
Yeah. Courtney told me I was Coach Beard once. And I was like, I will say Beard's night out, I'm pretty sure I've had something almost identical to that a few times. So.
I'm pretty sure that you had that at Highland Bike Park.
Couple times.
Martin
Literally,
Mays.
that night happened to you.
Oh, he's also on the FMD team. I knew he
I
used
didn't know that.
He used to ride for the Factory Orbea team, which I think went
Uh-huh.
away. I also didn't know he was going to race downhill.
Is Richie Rude next? I feel like the enduro riders have a pretty good advantage in the muddy conditions.
Yeah, and they also, I mean, all these guys are super fit, but I feel like the enduro guys are probably at a little bit of another level when it comes to fitness.
Yeah.
I do miss when the EWS was a thing and they went to like super exotic places for the races instead of just being at like where the World Cup is or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that made it a lot more
When they were
interesting.
like racing like
Oh,
old
they're
like foot trails and stuff.
Yeah,
stuff
like,
that's
oh, we're
not,
going to be
like-
in like Chile or whatever, just like all these crazy places. And
I
feel
just
like-
watched the photo epics.
Yeah,
on big
yeah.
bike.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
and
watch
there's-
the race, but I like the photos.
yeah, the photos are always insane because they're always just, in the most insane places.
Like how we're all like super into this rider.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That little corner right there is interesting.
The thing is with these riders, like him and Richie Rude, they're so big and built that they can make those mistakes where they slide their front wheel and they just
It's like,
correct with their shoulders because they're
Well,
so
Martin-
strong.
Martin's tall, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Richie's just like not super tall, but he's just freaking stout.
Yeah.
Richie's a Division I linebacker at any school he wants to go to.
Yeah.
When I saw him at Mountain Creek a couple years ago, I couldn't believe how big that guy was. Hey, look, 3 French riders, top 3, and 5th. I will say the commentating is a drop off from with not having Aaron Gwynn in the.
Yeah, Aaron Gwynn's nice to have announcing just because it's, I don't know, he's got good insight.
Yeah. Well, it's like watching like Crankworks when Cam McCall is announcing
Yeah.
and stuff. It's like when you got somebody who's
Like,
like
they know
was
it.
previously top of the
Yeah.
game, like they got it.
We just, I mean, I'm sure the first. I don't remember what the first Aaron Gwynn ones were like. Like he was probably hesitant to jump in and like a little awkward. This is the first race of the year. I'm not gonna judge the broadcasting team
Yeah,
on
yeah.
race 1. He doesn't know where to cut in and tell give
Yeah.
insight yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like us doing this. We don't know when to talk. This is different than doing a podcast.
Right.
Where I ask you a question, you answer me a question.
Hey, Nick, what's your favorite color?
I am looking forward to
There's
doing.
Richie Rude.
That's
There
funny.
we are.
Yeah, those Yeti downhill bikes look cool. I wonder if they're ever going to sell them. Because they clearly paid they paid for the carbon mold. And I assume there's multiple sizes of it, so that had to be a decent investment.
They
but
had that Yeti dirt jumper. I really wish they came out with that.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Ooh, he's up.
Did you hear what the announcer said? Where he's like, his arms are bigger than my legs. I think it was
Yeah.
Nico.
Ooh, feet getting a little funny there. Yeah. It is kind of interesting to think about, like, oh, you could just go to North Carolina and, like, be at the trail, and, like, Nico, who was announcing, would be riding there, and Richie Rude would also
yeah.
possibly riding there while you're there, where other sports you don't really get that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, she like
Whistler.
riding Highland Whistler. Yeah. That's
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Highland.
Highland was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Walked up to Aaron Chase and Rogakin.
Yeah.
Well, I got to.
Redakin asked
I
if
did
we
some
could move our
laps
water
with-
bottle so we could take that video.
Oh, we ran into Cam McCall and Rogatkin when I broke my rear axle on my operator and my rear wheel was like
Tyler.
shaking off. No, I did some laps with Tyler McCall, but that was I think Cam and Rogatkin were filming stuff on Bonesaw Because I remember us coming through. and
That was
my, like,
Aaron-
rear wheel
Aaron
was
Chase
dribbling.
That was Aaron.
Was it Aaron? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I knew Aaron. He was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" You guys were all like, "What the?
We've run
what
into
the hell?"
everybody so many times that I don't remember what time's what, but
Well, I did that camp at Highland. It was super cool because we were like there during the week, and that's usually when the pro riders are also there.
Yeah.
Because nobody's there during the week really, except for the really good people.
Yeah.
I know. I need to get back to Highland. I definitely have enough points accumulated on my Delta card.
It would be sick to just fly out there.
I
Fly out to Boston
been
and
trying
roll
to
up.
decide what time. Let me know when. I've got 120,000 points.
Oh, that's a free flight. Easy, dude.
Oh, I got
easy.
like 5 free flights.
Yeah.
I would
Easy,
say
like.
it's probably only 25,000 to get to
Yeah, I
Boston.
know. I need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Spencer and Mark
Ooh.
texted me the other day.
See, dude, that same
if-
split, they all lose time.
If they could get a crew of people that could like drive us there and like we can all stay with and stuff and like figure that stuff
Well, I
out.
talked to Devin about that actually, about flying out and him picking me up and taking me there too. So
The difference between hanging out with Devin up there and hanging out with Spencer is a rather radical difference.
it is a little different. It's all good.
The first time I met Spencer, I was 9.
I don't know.
You were 9 on that trip? Oh my
I
god.
don't know if I've ever met this person.
You were there.
I think you were there.
I'm pretty sure. You were 9 on that trip?
I was
Was
9 or
that
10.
the
Yeah.
trip where
We lost Doug and telestrations and
Yeah.
and it was a really late night partying
Yeah,
down
with-
by the water and okay.
That was the year before they took out the camping back there.
Things got really out of control.
They had
no,
that-
year.
that was the up. We camped up that time
Okay.
because you had the motorhome when you were 9.
Yeah.
You,
Oh yeah. Because you guys were in the motorhome and I came back to the
Yeah.
van at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
you helped a woman.
Yes. Oh my God, you were 9 on that trip,
Yeah, in
That is
between
blowing
probably
my
9
mind.
to 11. Well,
and you're what, like 18 now?
19.
So, because that
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No, well, the one time I was there, the first time I think you took the RV, I was there. That would have been 2018.
No. 2016.
First time I went was in 2018.
Was
'Cause I
it?
started riding mountain
How old
bikes
You
in
was I?
had to be
2017.
older than 9.
11 then.
Yeah, still.
yeah, still
Yeah.
super
really
hit.
crazy.
Yeah.
Still really crazy, but like, holy cow! I didn't think it was that long ago.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a fun time.
We were just talking about the first year when Courtney farted on your leg.
Yeah.
Colton throwing the hamburger in the hotel
Oh,
room.
you got so pissed.
Colton.
I thought you threw the hamburger.
I threw it. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
me. I was drunk and there was condiments on it.
Yeah.
Is that a giant rider? That guy at Snowshoe, he crashed right in front of us, and I took a video, and he asked me if I could airdrop it to him. He pulled his phone out of his
Oh,
pocket and I
nice.
sent it to him.
I had him on my team a couple times last year, but due to his unfortunate problem of having to ride a giant, I took him off my team. And he didn't qualify a single time I had him on my team. His brother does well too. And
Remy.
Yeah.
yeah, like one of them always does well, and I always pick the opposite. It's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of how that goes.
You just gotta pick one and stick with it.
Really did appreciate when Giant came out with their colorway. I think it was last year of like their
So, like, the retro
original
color,
downhill
yeah,
bike.
Yeah, that was kind of sick.
I have the
I gotta
V8
say, I really thought the old glories were really cool.
Oh, the original one?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I have VHS videos that we pulled out a couple days ago that
Yeah.
I have the one of them when they first got that bike, and it was the best downhill bike of any downhill bike.
Michael, have you ever watched Jib?
I haven't. Wait, I think I have. I watched it on your iPad.
I don't know if it was Jib. I think it was something different. But I made him and Lewis watch a bunch of old mountain bike movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He had to learn
Trying
the
to
roots.
educate 'em.
Yep. Jib would be a good one. I have the
You would like Jib, I think,
You think?
actually.
I might have the DVD downstairs. We might actually be able to watch that. The VHS one's hard because VCRs don't last as long as tapes do.
That'd be a good video if you like watch old videos and were able to like get it in the.
You ride a lot like the dude, the main guy in Jib.
Yeah, I think you would really enjoy
Yeah,
it.
you would actually like it. I can't remember his name.
There's a handful of guys that are, like,
Andreas Cole.
They all rode Ellsworth.
yeah, well, everybody rode Ellsworth. Or I think Sinister was big at the time, too, right? The Urban Assault years.
Banshee,
Yeah.
Black Market.
Dude, so I was at Fort
Iron
Custer
Horse.
Stampede shooting photos, and this dude rides by, and Nick Slayton and I were like, was that guy riding a Banshee? Because it looked like a Banshee mountain bike. And I'm still not convinced that it's not, but he came around for his like second lap or whatever. It was also set up single speed. And I was like, everything about this is baffling to me. Like, who's doing an XC race on a Banshee of any kind?
Was it Kyle Kalis?
I don't know who it was, but yeah, I don't know.
The bike I like least of that era, and I still despise the way it looks to this day, even the new ones. I hate nollies. I hate them.
They always just like look. It's like there's something that's always just like a little wonky on them,
They've never done it for me.
and it's just like
I believe they're probably good bikes.
I don't.
And
'Cause
I
otherwise,
think-
we'd see more of them.
I just think they're
that's
ugly.
it's like why they don't sell venison in the grocery store, dude. If it was good, they'd sell it.
I love venison.
I like venison.
I like venison, too.
All right,
It's okay.
Yeah. Why can't I buy it at Meijer then? There's a plenty of deer out there.
Epic does have venison at Meijer, but it's like $7 a pound.
Oof.
But I do agree with you. Like if we had all the meats lined up on a thing, and you could only pick one for your meal, it ain't gonna be
Yeah.
venison.
There's only one dude I've ever seen.
If it's
like,
tenderloin, I might. Remember that elk tenderloin we had up at Dave and Mandy's house?
Yeah, that was good.
It was amazing.
different
That's-
animal.
No, well, the tenderloin. Okay, venison tenderloin and elk tenderloin are very similar.
So are all ruminant tenderloins. If there's a Kobe beef one sitting there, I'm taking that one. I want a little fat in my.
See, look,
Bad.
he lost. Everybody loses in that same section. It's fascinating.
Is he still on Atherton?
No, he's on YT now.
Oh!
Hate to see it. Yeah, there was one kid I remember seeing at Downhill Southeast that had like a big Nolly Enduro bike, but that's like the only person I think I've ever
His
really
visor's
seen
like right in
riding
front of
one.
his eyes.
I see lots of people that aren't fast riding them.
No, see, everyone that I've seen riding them at bike parks and stuff, they all seem to really like them and enjoy them. I just,
Yeah.
It's the
I'm
same
not
guy that
gonna-
has Hope brakes that have color-coded rotors to the rest of his bike and a E13 matched cassette and like colored spoke nipples. Amongst others.
but yeah, no, I don't know. It's one of those that I just like. Oh, they're just really ugly to me.
Yeah,
Put
they-
your,
And I-
micro- you
and I
put your
hated
microphone far back again.
Oh, my bad. And then
But yeah,
I
they
also
look-
hated the Super Boost thing because they didn't really need to do it when they did it.
Oh,
Same with
yeah.
Pivot too.
Ooh, this looks terrible.
Yeah, Nolly's just it's their
This looks like this could be
proportions
really bad.
are just like a little wonky looking visually.
That 4-bar that they have on the back is like spread out like this far.
I would like to say that I don't care about how something looks, but I literally design and make things to look good for a living, and it's like it matters
Yeah,
a lot to me.
yeah.
Does
Like,
that-
yeah,
Yes.
it's like I want to say that
Yeah.
function comes before form, but like it I have to look at it sometimes, and if it doesn't look good, I have a hard time with it.
It
Well,
better
yeah.
ride so much better than everything else on the market.
Yeah,
Well, it's gonna
exactly.
be ugly.
Like when I bought my road bike, I'm like at the shop looking at these road bikes, and I'm just like, it's a road bike, you know. I was like, oh, and I'm like
They're all
talking to the
ugly.
guy there, and I was like, if this was like a brand new downhill bike, I'd be like, this thing is fucking sick. But like, I'm like, it's like this is like almost just more like a tool, you know. It's like.
Yeah, I just need to put some
It's
miles down.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just a utility thing where like there are certain little things on road bikes where they're like, oh, that does kind of look neat on that one or whatever, but there's
Yeah.
nothing where it's just like some standout thing visually. It's like they're all so similar as far as how they look.
That
Yeah.
seat post is 3 inches wide instead of 2.
Yeah.
Mine's the fancy like arrow wedgy one.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sure, that's cheap to replace. I mean, why would you need to replace it? It's not a dropper. It's not going to go bad with your
Yeah,
carbon
I was
post.
gonna say hopefully.
I gotta
don't
say, I
have to
do kind of
replace-
like seat post masts too for on like high end bougie bikes where it's your seat post is like integrated as part of the frame because you built the frame is for you.
Oh yeah, I've seen
and
that.
then your like seat post clamp is like where all your like 5 or 10 millimeters of adjustment come from.
Yeah.
It looks really cool, but like
It's all fun and games till you bought that, and then you get a bike fit like Nick did and realize you had to move some stuff. Gosh, shoot.
that's when you get the fit and then you build it for it. Like,
Yeah.
the bike I'm talking about
I mean,
that I want
like,
to build myself, I will do that
right.
on that, but it's gonna be
Like if you're gonna like, I'm gonna buy a $5,000 road bike, I would say go get a bike fit first, like before
Yes.
you buy it, and like make sure it fits you right. Because like I test rode 2 different sizes of a different bike, but when I bought my road bike, and one of them seemed way too big, and then the next size down seemed way too small, and it was just like, okay, I guess this just won't really work for me, unless I did like change a bunch of parts and stuff. I've never heard of this guy either. There's all
Nope.
sorts of riders I've never heard of racing today.
Which is why the first week of fantasy sucks.
Yeah, like no idea what the team is this guy's riding for.
Because I'll fill in my roster with a bunch of like $30,000 dudes that got like a couple points.
Yeah.
Just so I can get points. Michael, you're the only one of us that rides a medium, right?
Yeah, I ride a medium. Sometimes, like, some bikes, I like a large. Like, I like your large Slash.
It's a medium large.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
not
I was
as
gonna- I
cool
was
as
gonna
these
say.
guys. I'm not a true large.
My road bike I just bought is called a medium large, which I assume is like a 56.
Yeah.
But yeah, mountain bike's definitely a large.
not really sure. Like typically I would ride a large or an extra large depending on the bike.
My downhill bike was an extra large.
Yeah.
So is mine.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of
I
the super long
rode
bikes.
a Polygon downhill bike. I forget which model it was at the time, but I rode that in an XL, and I was like, "Oh shit, maybe I should be on an XL," because it felt really good. But like my downhill bike now, my operator is like a medium. It's a large, but it
Yeah,
fits
that's
like a medium.
Yeah, I mean that's my downhill bike. I didn't think was particularly long. Like I had it in a large, and I bought the same frame again in an XL, and also put a reach adjust headset in it to make it a little longer.
Yeah. Yeah, my trail bike and my like city bike, those are probably city bike's definitely like probably like a 56-ish, 56 to 58. And then my trail bike is probably like in that medium large range just because I made it a little smaller because I wanted other people to be able to ride it and
Yeah.
use it too. That was ones that I built, so I don't really have like a set size
Oh
on
right,
them, but
yeah.
I miss my large Morewood Makulu.
yeah.
I had so much fun and could do everything I wanted on that bike, and it was fast enough. Like my session was an extra large, and it was faster through rocks,
Yeah.
but it didn't turn as fast and it didn't jump as well, and I couldn't manual it. Like it was, I definitely upgraded. If I was continuing to race, that would have been the path I should have taken. But for doing what we continued to do for
Yeah.
the years after, I should have just hung on to the bike that I had.
Well, the little bit that I rode the Makulu, like, I don't know. See, now to me that was a bike for going fast, not for.
Well, for those days. It was like one of the first long downhill. Like it was so ahead
Yeah.
of its time. That
But I
it
just
was-
remember, like, well, when I was riding bikes all the time, I was really good at manualing. Just about any bike I hopped on, like, immediately. I could not fucking manual that more your Makulu.
See, I could. That was the
Yours,
bike I could
yours
do the
or
best.
Kyle's. I could not do it. I could not do it. And maybe it's just because of how soft the rear end was compared to like what it should have been for normal-sized people. but yeah, I struggled with that bike a lot.
I like that more what I rode for a while.
Like
That's
I
a good
liked
bike.
the bike, but as far as like kind of I don't know, from the way that I like to ride and my riding style, like it was definitely more of a bike to stay planted, I felt like.
If I was gonna get another downhill bike, I would actually consider the 27.5 Makulu.
Yeah.
The first time I met Andy, I was riding Brian's Morewood in the UP.
That was the
and-
Indiza that we were talking about earlier.
What?
That was the Indiza that
The
we were
white
talking.
Indiza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was riding that bike, and Andy came up to me because he was working up there, and he goes, "I have a friend who's got that exact same bike, and you know what? They got the same wheels." So I was like,
And the same fork.
"Yeah."
Like-
You weren't putting two and two together here. I don't think. I already told him that we were like that I was friends with Brian like 3 times before he came up to me.
That's
Didn't you guys hire a guide that trip too?
Yeah, and that was awful because he couldn't ride.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
This is another rider
We took
I've never
him
heard
down
of,
a trail
on
and he was
team
like
I've never
walking
heard
down
of.
stuff.
No.
Yeah, we went down a trail
You
and
hired a guide and and the guide was walking.
yeah, because he didn't
down
expect to have to take a kid down flying chipmunk or whatever it was.
stuff?
Flying
Flying
squirrel.
squirrel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
he's
you ever
gonna
ride?
fly.
Did you ever get to ride downtown?
Yeah,
Oh, I loved downtown.
It's a good trail.
that is
so
a good trail.
good. I wish it was still around.
I think it is again.
Did they open it back up?
I thought so.
There's one trail and I think it's like Grandma's. It's away from the rest of them. You have to park somewhere. Or you have to go to a different part of the trail to go down it.
Well, there's the stuff at East Bluff now, which is pretty sick.
Ooh.
Um,
What is that trail called?
I really loved Red Trail in downtown.
Red Trail was a good
Overflow
one.
was super fun, but Red Trail and downtown were my favorites.
I liked Red Trail. I liked Flying Squirrel. When it was really rarely good though.
Yeah.
Like we went up there like 4 years in a row, and it was only good 1 year.
Yeah, I rode it not good a bunch of times as well.
Yeah. I will say I also, when I was up there with my 5010, I got to where I really loved riding just, I think it was West Whoopity to, or maybe it was East Whoopity. It was
East Whoopity
East
is the
Whoopity-
wild one.
East Whoopity to Garden Brook was so much fun on that 5010.
I love Garden Brook. That was like my favorite down flow trail. The thing that was terrible about it was the whole two-way traffic thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to yield to me, and you're like going 40 down this trail, and you're like, well, what? I don't know what you want me to do. Like, this trail's obviously built to go really fast down.
It is such a fun trail.
I don't think I've ever ridden that trail.
It's
the best climb
like,
up.
It's like an intermediate. Like it's nothing fancy. It's kind of one of those that like I wouldn't have ridden if I wasn't riding with another
Yeah.
group, and then started riding it more frequently, and you can really open it up
I
on
haven't-
that trail.
I rode-
It's super fun.
I rode there in 2018 for the first time, and then went back a few years later, but didn't. I feel like we didn't ride a whole lot or something. I don't know, but there's definitely quite a few trails I probably haven't ridden up there. It's also hard for me to justify going back up to the UP to ride. Just for, Copper Harbor's so far away, and you can go
Yeah.
to Tennessee and stuff in the same amount of time or less.
Yeah, I agree with that. My mom really likes going there. It's her favorite place. She likes looking for rocks. So usually we
Yeah.
go there for like a week, and then we spend 5 days looking for rocks and 1 day riding bikes.
I love the UP. I haven't been there in a while just because I haven't had a vehicle I can trust to drive up there, but
Problem with the
Hopefully.
UP for me is I like it a little bit less almost every time I go up there, except for the last time I went. Last time, It had been a long time since I had been up there, and it was on this like continual like getting less cool every time I went. But like the last trip we had up there was really good, and now
Yeah.
I'm back into being interested in going there again.
Yeah, I used to go there a lot growing up, and so I think that's probably part of it for me too, where it was just like I've been there a ton for
Yeah.
other reasons outside of bikes, but it was just
Yeah.
like
Outside of
there's
bikes,
no
it's a
li-
really good trip.
I feel like there's not much for me is like, oh, this is like new and exciting or anything. It's like, oh, I used to be up here in the same area all the time, so I don't know. And I always just want to go to different places.
Outside of bikes, there's a lot to do there. Where not all bike parks have that. Like you can go do like cliff jumping stuff, and you
Yeah.
can go.
Marquette was like a second home for me for many years. Like there was a time where I was going up there every other weekend,
Same.
and like there's a ton of people that live in Marquette that thought I lived up there because of how often I was up there.
Same.
And I do miss it a lot. But I've been thinking about renting a car so I can head up to Trails Fest. But I don't
We
know.
were talking about, Nick was asking me about 4th of July things, and I had
Yeah.
possibly mentioned some sort of
the
combo.
harbor or something.
I don't know if I want to go that far. I really want to go to Sault Ste. Marie, like badly.
Yeah.
And I would like to go ride Marquette more. Highlands I'll have the season pass at, so like that's always cool.
He was
I
so
mean-
close to that tree. He hit the sign that was on the Oakley sign that was on the tree. You guys see that?
No.
That
There was
crazy.
somebody earlier that clipped a sign too.
I mean, I really like the trip we did for Labor Day last year where we still got a cheap hotel that could have dogs at it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Mackinac City was so close to Point Highlands until that trip.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a half hour, if not less.
Yeah, it's just the other direction. So
Right,
it's like,
yeah.
You don't think
it's
about
further,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a bike ride event that just happened this last weekend where you ride from Highlands to the bridge and then they'll shuttle you back, but you go right up through the color of trees or tunnel of trees or whatever.
Yeah, the Zunimac.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh,
No.
Ronan's down.
Hate to see it.
He just like slip and slid down there. He didn't. It was like
Those
a-
guys have such English teeth.
Yeah. Irish, please. Come on. Yeah, that sucks.
It looks like he didn't even fall. He just started sliding.
Ah.
Yes, those are some teeth.
I really liked Ocean O'Callahan for this race.
Yeah, he's always good in
I
mud,
feel
too.
like he's going to do well. Oh, look, the same hot seat that's been the same hot seat since
Yep.
the last chance qualifying. I guess it's not that much different because the protected riders a lot of the time went pretty early, didn't they?
How does the protected rider thing work?
No,
I
they
don't even
didn't.
get
They
that.
went like
no, they would have him go
like 15 through
Yeah,
10.
they're still in the top.
I don't even understand the protected rider thing. when
Like
they
if
did
you
it.
were like top 10 in the points, you didn't have to worry about qualifying.
Oh, you just skip qualifying.
Well, you would still qualify, but like say you fall, right?
Then you still make it.
yeah, they'd still put you in the final.
So you could just like kind of half-ass the
I-
qualifying.
if you wanted to. I mean, I don't
That's why they
think-
get rid of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I mean, the protected rider thing, that was only for really like a handful of years though, right? Cuz I feel like when I first started watching World Cups, there wasn't protected riders.
It was
that
just
wasn't that
last
long ago.
year, or the year before.
2 years ago they
Is
started.
that what?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They had the protected rider thing when we went to Snowshoe.
Yeah.
That was 2
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago.
Well, protected riders were around for a while, but they changed the way they did it a couple times.
Yeah.
Because it was at one point just like the protected riders were riders that were finished the previous season in the top 10.
Yep.
And then they had
Yeah, and that would
protected
carry through the
riders-
whole year, right? Yeah.
And then they switched it to where it was all based off point. They had like the top 10 that were protected from the previous year, and then it was like the top 10 in points beyond that. They changed. They did a few different things for
Yeah.
a while.
This rider's got belt drive.
Yep. On that prototype intense.
Pure breeding. We'll see how he does.
Traditionally, he does not do very well.
No.
I'm surprised he's this high up in the finals.
Maybe
He's
it's,
always fun to watch, though.
maybe it's the gearbox.
I like his riding style usually.
He
It's
looks
the
pretty
skin
quick.
Suit.
He does look pretty quick though.
I mean, there has got to be some sort of benefit to the tight kit.
There was something I watched, and it might have been Curtis Keene or someone back when they had more of like a regular show. But I think it was one of the Specialized guys. They actually went into the like specialized wind tunnel
Yeah.
with like more like of a more traditional baggy kit and then a more fitted
Yeah,
kit.
it's
and,
got to
like,
be substantial.
It was pretty intense, like the difference if I remember correctly.
Yeah. There's
Really?
an old, I think it's a Downtime podcast episode where they have this engineer that worked for McLaren, and Tony Seagrave went to the McLaren wind tunnel and they like tested stuff in there. And he was saying the drag coefficient of just a downhill bike is the same as like a road bike with a rider on it.
That's nuts. I wonder. I'd be curious to see now something like the Uno downhill bike, where everything was like
Super thin.
Yeah, well, and like
it's
everything
all
was
short.
made to like thin tubes that
Yeah.
tapered. I'd be curious to see like what the drag coefficient of that would be, because like
Right.
I watch quite a bit of stuff with race cars and stuff these
Oh, right,
days,
yeah.
and it's like wild to where it is such a science that they can be like, okay, this car's producing this much horsepower, it has this final drive, and this is the drag coefficient. They can pretty much
Figure out speed.
freaky accurate be
Yeah.
like, this is how fast it's going to go.
Yep.
I thought about asking that Chris guy from Downtime to be on our podcast.
Oh,
That'd
yeah.
be kind of cool. Oh, you lost a bunch of time.
We would go to Courtney's office where they have like fancy internet to.
Yeah, make sure it's because especially with the.
Because I've been trying to get
overseas and
Robert
stuff.
That's a lot of tubes
Oh, yeah.
connected to get to the UK.
Right,
I've been
yeah.
fighting. I've been still fighting the battle trying to get Robert Irwin on.
That'd be super cool.
And but like Chris from Downtime would be a good one. My problem, or where I get the hang up, is I want to hear the funny stories about like when crap went wrong on the podcast, or like
Oh, right,
like
yeah.
some of the stories
The
like
growing pains and stuff. and-
yeah, like I want to
Yeah.
hear like what, because I really enjoy that podcast, even though I don't listen as much as I would like to. Just sometimes it's a little dry for me, but I bet he's got some awesome stories.
Yeah.
But I'm not positive he's got the personality to be able to tell an awesome story about, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like Zach is really good at telling a story about when things went wrong.
I mean,
Colton,
it's happened quite a few times. I've had a lot of practice.
I mean, you're really good at telling the story though.
Yeah.
Like Colton could tell the same story, and it would be funny in a completely different way
Yeah.
of him struggling to find words and like make the story. We just had Kevin Allen
I need
on.
to go visit Colton. I miss Colton.
I'm gonna be going back down for Thanksgiving
I
probably.
think the last time I
Yeah.
saw him was probably
I might
when
be
we went to
interested in
Blue
going
Mountain.
Thanksgiving.
Next time you see him, give him a big old hug and kiss for me, all right?
That'd be another good 4th of July option. Is going down to beach and
Oh,
sugar and stuff. Again.
yeah.
That- I really
Man,
like that
Luca's
trip.
hair.
That was fun. Yeah,
at that.
I would I'd be so down to ride Canuga again. That place was so cool.
I had a great time at Canuga.
Would you bring 4 bikes and then rent an e-bike?
No, but I probably would if we go there for a day. I'd probably rent an e-bike again for sure.
I would 100% rent an e-bike.
Yeah,
again.
dude, it was so fun.
I'm
Oh,
still.
Courtney wants to go. She loves those biscuits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
we got to go
goodness.
back
Every
to
time we
that.
go, like-
We got to go back to that breakfast place.
Anytime we go to like a 4-hour radius of there, it's like we gotta go to Biscuit World.
What's it called? Pine whatever biscuits.
Well,
or-
there was the biscuit place, but
Oh,
then
that's
there
a
was a
different one,
breakfast
yeah.
place that she and I stopped
That's
at.
the one in Johnson City. That's the place.
Okay, I forget the name of it.
She knows. She talked about it like a week ago
Yeah.
at their
It was
house.
so good.
I'm sure you playing with your microphone is sounding like poop here.
Yeah,
Ooh, he's up by a lot.
I'm like,
Oh,
last time I looked at e-bikes on Pink Bike, I was really tempted because there's a lot of ridiculously good deals.
I know there's a ridiculously good deal on a medium transition one.
It's
At-
too small for me.
I know it's the problem. Is everyone I know wants a large.
Yeah.
Except for my family.
I
that
want
bike.
a large or an extra large. If
Oh,
I'm
the one that's been there forever, I
yeah,
guess, right?
like
yeah.
it's real cheap.
Well,
What
there
is
was a S-Works Turbo Levo just frame set for like $1,200 recently, and I was just like, oh my god, I could swap everything over. And I was just like, no, I can't do that. I'm trying
It's
to get
the
a
transition.
Is
Yeah,
it Bosch
I've-
or is it Shimano?
I've thought about selling my Sentinel
I
and just
cannot
getting an
remember.
e-bike.
It's the one Jesse has. It's the same bike
Yeah.
Jesse has. It's just a different
I
size.
see. That's the thing. Just sold my Patrol, and I've been thinking about like I did finally sell my frame, but I've still got like some wheels and I've got some other stuff, and I've thought about like
Ooh, he got
parting
double.
out my hardtail trail bike that I have, and then just like building
Yeah.
just a good like enduro e-bike that I can ride anywhere.
Yep.
Because I can't leave him alone, so he's gonna be on my back in a damn backpack, hauling a 40-pound dog around is a great excuse for getting an e-bike.
Yeah, once I bought like my trail bike,
What
I
are you
was
doing,
like,
Sprocko?
the enduro can be whatever. E-bike would be sweet. Oh, almost lost
Oh.
her. Get your feet back on there, bud.
Come on, Luca. USA. USA.
I don't know, that last one. Oh, wait, no, he wasn't that far behind, even though he had a foot dabble.
Well, they haven't had the new time since he had the slip out.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's still another split coming
That's a long split.
right here. Oh yeah, nice 3 seconds back now. Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
It does look like it's drying up a little bit.
It does.
Yeah,
they're
the
not-
rain it doesn't seem like there's been any more rain at all.
It's almost like an unfair advantage for the people who get to go at the end.
Well,
I mean,
usually it's
even
the other
though-
way, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even though the LCQ winners are still on the hot seat.
Yeah, but I mean that's Amory Pierre.
Right, I would say, I think
that's-
if he didn't fall in qualifying, he'd probably still
He'd be up
finish where
there.
he's gonna finish. Yeah.
That was so motocross. You know how hard it is to do that on like a bike, because on a dirt bike, you can move everything, and the whole thing's so heavy that you don't move around it a little in the air.
Yep.
But on a mountain bike, if you just barely tap your brake, or if you just barely like do anything wrong, it's a really big difference compared to a
Oh,
dirt
yeah.
bike.
Lucas Shaw is deceivingly amazing on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't look like he should be like
Is-
super good at everything.
Yeah,
'cause
we
he doesn't
saw
have
him-
the wild haircut.
His
or
his
anything.
brother is also very good on a
Yeah.
bicycle.
Yeah, we rode
saw
with
him at the
him
Riveter.
Yeah, the Riveter last
And
time we rode
that
there.
was insane to watch.
Yeah.
All the jumps, they were like kids, like kind of just progression jumps, and he was going so high.
I would love to see this kid win, just because.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Stevens McNabb, I've never heard of him.
Fairly new rider.
He's your
super,
age.
Super
Is he?
fast.
Yeah, he's moving. Did anybody hear how Lewis did at the Southwest National or whatever it was?
I don't.
I didn't
recall.
even know he was doing races or downhill races.
I think he just went to the one.
I'm sure he did pretty well, but not as well as you'd think he'd do. Because when you ride with him, he's annoyingly good at everything.
Yeah. We saw him at the bootleg, and it's just like every time you see him, you don't expect it, and he's even though you should, he's just got some weird. He's got some weird skills that nobody else
no.
has. How did he stand
Lost
up on his
her.
feet after that?
Dang.
That was a hell of a dismount.
Right.
Stuck the landing.
Yep. Judges will score high for that one. There's not really a good view up into where he was at. Ooh. Yeah, he shot out of there funny.
Right onto his feet. That's insane.
He's like,
His
where'd my
bike's
bike
going
go?
backwards. Yeah.
I guess if there's a way to fall, that'd probably be an
Right.
ideal way to do it.
I think he just like bumped down to his butt and then right onto his feet.
Yeah.
I don't even think like the rest of his body hit the ground.
What are you whining about, Stan? What's up?
Does anybody know how to pronounce the name of the mountain they're at?
Where does it say it?
It's those banners right there.
I should.
There's a lot of consonants and a Y in there.
My Polish heritage, my grandpa that passed away like 2 weeks ago. I'm glad he held out until I got to go visit. They could speak Polish though.
Oh, okay. My mom's side of the family is Polish.
Ooh. I don't know how they're jumping that into that.
The San Diego was pretty wild with just having the dirt jumper. I will say though, if I go back, I will bring a different bicycle.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun, but you hit some dirt jumps.
They're dirt jumps.
Yeah. I did. I will say I never did get the double black line at the Bradley Bike Park.
Where's
By the
that
time, just north of San Diego,
Okay.
San Marcos.
Now that you've been around that area, I'd want to go again because I really tried to go for my senior trip, but I mean, the big downfall was that we didn't know anybody who's ever been there, and we had never been there. So it's like, how do you find what's good to ride, right? I mean, I guess it was the same way with Utah, but we kind of made it into a little bit less of a bike trip and a little bit more into
Your dad's worst nightmare.
yeah heights.
No, it was really fun. I'd like to do some more of the stuff that Pat Ellis did when he was there.
Yeah, it looked like he rode
I
some
didn't
pretty
see
cool
any of the stuff
trails.
that he did.
It was really weird because after watching all the videos that Pat did with Mark, I was like, oh, it's all desert in San Diego. And then I got there and it was super green and lush, and I was like,
Well, you're also there in the spring. Well, I guess Pat was too.
Pat was there 2 weeks before me.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I know like there's definitely parts of California where you're there in the spring, everything is super green, but then once you're there, like once you start getting into summer, then everything is just brown.
Because I used to go to like Long Beach area and Huntington Beach and LA and ride every winter.
Yeah.
And I was used to desert, loose over hard,
Yeah.
Big Bear, like all of that stuff where it's like almost like Colorado.
Yeah.
And San Diego was not like that. It was like lush green, beautiful flowers, cactus.
I haven't ridden in San Diego, but I've been out there for work, and it was amazing. And
I've
I
heard
was like, if I come out here again, I have to bring a bike.
My mom used to live there, and she just said like every day the weather's perfect.
Yeah, it was actually really cold. It was colder there than here when I was there.
Yeah, all the air coming off the Pacific.
Yeah, and then like that layer of like marine fog.
Oh yeah.
I almost needed a scraper for my windshield. Like it was like a weird heaviness to it. But it was fun. I'll go back and visit my family again. I'd probably take my downcountry bike, honestly.
Yeah.
Because even the stuff that like Pat rode.
Yeah, like I'd ride that stuff on my Epic Evo all day.
Yeah, like all those guys ride like big enduro bikes, but
Yeah, with motors in them though too. So.
yeah, if I had to pull it together for just 3 days of riding, I don't think I'm gonna get too tired there.
Yeah. Oh.
East Coast is just so much rowdier than the West Coast.
Yeah.
I would not ride Highland Bike Park on my downcountry bike
I
for
did
multiple
it.
laps.
I did it on the Evil Calling.
I did a couple laps on the slopestyle bike. I did a couple laps on the Giza.
Yeah.
I did a couple laps on my Fuelie X.
Yeah, yeah, because I rode the last time I went there. I rode my downhill bike for a day, and then the next day I rode the Evil all day, and it was all right. My complaints with the Evil were specific to that bike, not really the trails I was riding them on, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not not enthusiastic
Yeah,
about
it
evil
was
bikes.
like it was an okay bike. I don't know. There was rear end was too skittish for me.
They're better at marketing than riding
Yeah.
down hills.
Yeah.
That was the problem with Utah. They're really good at marketing that Woodward facility when it first came out.
Yeah. Last time I went to Highland, my favorite
Ooh,
trail.
he's still up. He's the first one to be still up at this split.
If he wins this, I'm gonna be so upset that this is the guy that I felt was gonna win the whole time.
Oh man, he's got to do it.
He's got it.
He does. A little over half. So
Oh
nice.
no!
How close was he?
It doesn't matter. The fact that he's first and I
And you didn't
second
pick him.
guess myself when the whole time all I could think of was he's gonna do well. Now I have to root for him to not win with every other rider comes down, and that feels mean
Well,
to me.
there are some fast riders up, so
Like Luke Bruni.
correct.
How many riders are left?
Not that
feel like
many.
we've
got-
We're
lost him
pretty
a lot.
close to
I
the
think
end.
it's just a few.
but
Yeah,
everyone
but this
that's
is
up
when
there.
this is when everything goes out the window.
Yeah.
though. This is like when we were talking about how everything you'll get to that point where it can't be better.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden shit just gets
Yeah,
wild.
apparently-
Everybody
yeah.
does better.
Yeah, it's like apparently track conditions don't matter to these people. They don't care that it's way
Well,
more
they're
blown
hovering
out.
above the surface.
Yeah.
He's expecting to put himself into this situation, and
No, I was gonna say that last time I was at Highland, my favorite run ended up being a cross country run. It was that faux pine that Jason Gordon took us on.
Is that the one I
Yes.
broke my rear wheel on?
It was wild.
That was so fun. Because we were starting at top of the world and then
Taking the back way.
and then taking the back way into it and then spitting out in that far lot, right?
Yeah, I probably did 7 or 8 runs on that.
That was good.
And like you
That
did it
was
with
really
me.
good.
I don't know if Kellen.
You and I did it quite a few
Yeah.
times, and then it was that last time where I just tried to go a little too sporty and blew up my rear wheel, but that was great.
This is one of Courtney's favorite righties, Remy. This is she always roots for this guy. She didn't make a team this year.
I feel like he always is like, yeah, does good in the wet, but I don't know. It'd be cool to see him do super well.
It didn't even look like he hit that drop.
He just sucked the whole thing
Yeah.
out.
He's like
Yeah.
poor man Danny Hart.
Great, value.
He's still in course.
Great value, Danny Hart.
really, really helping Nico. Yeah, I mean, I prefer those than a bamboo course pole. Absolutely. They're pretty solid in the ground, but they are sprung though, so to get one moving takes a bit of force. Back end just kicked out on the way.
There's spots in this course that look like they're shoring up and they're a little bit
Getting
faster.
violent.
But there's spots on this course that look super sticky as well, like the kind of stuff that like grabs your bike and wants to pull you
Like
over the
right
handlebars.
there, it looked like something that people were kind of able to flow through earlier, and like he's like G'ing out, hitting it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Looked like it happened to Stevens McNabb too, when he fell. I still can't believe no one's hitting that jump.
Yeah, I think like Lucas Shaw's the only one to jump it, and he did it to pull his
Yeah,
tear
pull his
off.
tear
Maybe
off.
it's just not faster.
It might bring you into that corner a little too fast too.
Ooh. There's a jump further up that they're all going around. I don't think anybody's hit.
Floats across that little gap. Yeah, the first half of this race really dominated by extremely poor weather conditions. Snow at the top of the track. Amory Piron laid down an absolute belter of a run. Richie Rudy
Some of these G outs right before like wooden bridges, that would be
Right.
unnerving at best.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I went through 8 inches of travel right there. I didn't expect that.
And now my bike is my suspension is completely unloaded for this wet, clay-covered wooden bridge.
Yeah.
I can't believe that there's 3 of these races in 4 weeks.
That's how it should be.
Well, I know, but it's usually 2. It's always like
Yeah.
sets of 2.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, sure,
I mean,
there's
that's
a lot
of
of
travel time. Like in between every week, just.
I'm sure there's a
I'll
lot of.
hopefully know this week when we'll be able to use that room.
If we could use it for the 3rd race, I think that'd be the best one.
That'd be cool, yeah.
He's at his building. They have like a conference room with like a big
Oh.
TV in it, and we
Yeah.
could like
Oh,
rent
yeah.
it for the morning and like I would rather
there's
watch
literally-
these kind of live.
There's
too.
literally a bar across the hall where people could get food and everything.
And if it's a
And in
Sunday,
that
there's
room-
like mimosas and stuff.
Yeah, and in the room, it's also a game room, so there's like darts and
Oh,
shuffleboard
nice.
and foosball and all that shit.
That'd be sick.
That sounds like a
Cool.
good time.
Today was obviously very thrown together because it snuck up, and we have a trip coming up next week. And
Yeah, we should definitely try to find a way to do like a thing with food afterwards, or, like just a way to hang out. So what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we did that in my building, we could do it potluck style too. Because there's refrigerators in
Yeah.
that community room, so everyone can bring drinks and stuff. You could set
Yeah.
stuff up along the whole bar, or people just go across the hallway and get food from the bar and bring it back in. So
Yeah,
I was kind of thinking your house, maybe.
yeah.
Maybe the next one in 2 weeks would be fun in your basement with the big screen and the bar there and the pool table. And
Yeah, that'd be cool.
even if we have to switch headsets because we've got more than 5 people or
How
whatever.
many?
Oh, we can share them too. You can have a big party and still have like the main people that are wearing them.
Well, if we're going to do that, we might as well have the other mics that pick up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do like this, though, not having to lean forward. We
Yeah.
definitely are talking over each other a little bit more, but
I
Gonna be
will
bound to
say
happen, I
either
think.
way you wanted to do
you guys
it.
talk over each other.
I was just noticing that. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Go for it.
Oh, all I said was it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, he qualified top 3, so
Yes.
he would have been second. That Mondrager team really did a good job of scouting their
They
talent.
sure did.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dakota still riding for Mondrager?
Yeah.
Yep. Ooh, who's up?
Ooh, those puddles just blow up next to him.
Well, that's where Brosnan went down, is that puddle up there.
His
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah, that sign's close.
I'd be so scared of that tree with the
Right.
Oakley sign on it.
I would be so scared of this entire course, top to bottom.
Videos of riding the popular trails in SoCal faster than anyone's ever seen before. He's really nice kid and exciting to watch. Yeah. Teammates, Rude and Dunn, of course. That'll do you no harm at all when it comes to trail at full speed. Pinkerton comes down the second split now. What's it going to say?
Way to not talk about
He's
Dakota.
still not jumping it.
2 riders to go after this rider.
I hate when they look like parts of the course look slow. Like, why do you have a camera where it looks
Yeah.
awful? Is it just to make us feel better about them having to pedal and crank? 'Cause that's where the girls. It's the same camera angle where the girls were like
Yeah.
couldn't accelerate.
Right. I will say I appreciate there not being drone footage because I feel like the drone stuff sometimes just doesn't work out well.
I'm not a
I
fan
feel
of the
like
drone stuff.
sometimes it's really cool and other times it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like if there's like a long straight section of jumps or something, like Hardline did it through a section that was just like long and straight
Yeah,
and
that was
fast.
cool.
And it's like I feel like that works, but a lot of times, especially if they have to navigate corners or something, it just I don't know, just looks kind of wonky.
Remember
Yeah.
that line
No, I
camera
agree
that
with
was at
that.
Cannesburg?
Yeah,
That worked really well for what it was.
still hanging there.
Is it?
I thought the drone footage from stuff like Darkfest and all that is pretty sick.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They
Well,
do
big
a really
open
good job
spaces
with
for
that.
sure, I think it
yeah,
was.
Yeah,
they do a
yeah.
really. They've gotten better though, because I remember when they first started doing it, I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, like
pretty
some of the
sick now.
like I feel like they do it a lot in like Crankworks downhill races, and it's like they're following them through like a proper
good
section of
straight
trail.
section, yeah,
Well,
or
it won't be like a section with straights, but they'll have like turns and stuff, and it just like gets wonky. I don't know.
like it either.
Yeah.
Crankwork slope style with it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you have to see every jump. You have to see the whole course. Or it's
Right.
I like when they intermittently add it now. But like Fort William's a really good one to have the drone.
Yeah.
Where
it's
like
just
that
wide
whole
open at the top. Yeah.
section. Yeah.
Do you remember those switchbacks before that big drop at in West Virginia?
Yes.
They had that drone footage there. That was pretty cool. There's that dude with the chainsaw, so when we rewatched it later, all you could hear is the chainsaw.
The guy that was doing it with the bullhorn by the rock drop was the best heckler I've ever heard in person. Knees out for the boy. Knees out for the boy.
I haven't seen the disc guards much before.
Yeah. It seems like they're all starting to use
It's
them
pretty
this year.
common now, yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it makes sense. Moto's been using it for years.
Yeah. Well, it's like I know they've been around, but I've just never seen them in use the way that you're seeing them today.
Yeah.
I was surprised earlier in the broadcast that more riders weren't using them because they were all complaining about their brakes not working.
I mean, if you're constantly cleaning off your rotor with your brake pads, then they're never gonna work.
When you just shred pads.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. That doesn't.
I don't
matter
even know
for
who this
them,
guy
but-
is.
Yeah, I don't know either. Young guy.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Oliver Davis. What's that number next to it? 36? Is that like his?
I
riding
think
number?
I think they have numbers now.
Really?
Instead of being like it being your place
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, I think they just have numbers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so weird.
Yeah, because I think last year they kind of did it with like the top 10 guys or something maybe. I
Okay.
don't know.
Well,
Don't
that's what
quote
it
me on
was
that.
forever. It's always just been like
Where
your
your current
ranked.
points
Yeah.
are, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think there's
Ooh.
that was a scary
That was
spot
really
to get
scary.
wonky.
Right?
I don't know. I think a lot of these dudes like secretly, maybe it's not a secret, just wish they were pro supercross riders and want to just
Just want to have
and
their
they
number.
want to have a number. Yeah.
I mean, it would be pretty cool.
I mean,
to just
Connor
have a
Fearon
number.
had 10 on his jersey forever.
Yeah.
You know, just
I mean, my new Pedal Progressions jersey's got big 24 in the back.
That
'cause
guy
that
has
was
hit
my
every
number
sign.
for every sport but rugby.
yeah.
And rugby, I guess rugby and football, like where I had to have a certain number for position.
Right.
But yeah, like all our new Pedal Progressions jerseys allow for a big number on the back. But I did have someone ask me why I had a 24 on the back. Because they're not used to it in biking.
Yeah.
Why do you have a 24? Is that from last year? I'm like, no.
Yeah, the only thing I've bike-wise that's really common is like BMX racing.
Yeah. But even that's a ranking.
Is
it?
it though?
Yeah,
I think
because I was ranked 308 in the, like when I first got my number, I was ranked 308 in the nation or whatever, and that's how I got 308.
Oh, I thought they just gave you one and then that's what you have.
You can, nah, not really.
Hmm.
But you also have like rankings for like you have multiple different numbers, so you could have like your Gold Cup ranking, or you could have your state ranking, or
Right.
your national ranking.
Hmm.
So it's all based off of how you want to do it. Like you
Yeah,
could
okay.
have like 4 different numbers in a year and just pick and choose what you want to use that day.
That's not confusing at all.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. Craig was bummed that he missed today.
Oh, yeah.
He's up in Traverse City at their new house that he bought.
Oh, you got a new place?
He bought it for like a vacation rental,
Oh, dang.
but the bootleg this year is going to be bootleg festival at Craig's house.
Oh,
That sounds like
man,
a
that's
great
going to
time.
be a good
I
time.
think we're going to bring back the beer Olympics from Yankee Springs Time Trial.
Oh,
There's
man.
been talk of that and some other stuff.
You know, I have been saying I've needed some sort of event to train for to get back in shape. This might be
You
it.
need the bootleg?
No, the beer Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Ooh.
he went down too. Same spot as was that Andreas
You
Cole
hear
went
that,
down
Sprocket?
there?
We're going to
I
have
don't
to
remember.
start working on drinking beers and doing bunny hops again.
He's got 5 acres, so there's gonna be camping and stuff.
Hell yeah.
So I think we're all gonna be camping out and like doing it. We might have to rent some porta potties or something.
That sounds like so much fun.
Nice.
That sounds like a great time. Actually.
I stayed in the Black Rocks bus last year.
Yeah, in the last podcast, Craig invited anyone that could hear his voice. He's like, that might not be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the 20th anniversary, so Devin's coming back from Portugal and stuff too.
Nice.
Ooh.
I should just put my e-bike rear wheel from my cargo bike on my downhill bike.
I mean, I don't know if it'll help, but
It probably won't.
one thing that I've been like flirting with the idea of is because now we have official timing chips and stuff. If Mitch is doing the race again, I think we might do 3 or 4 runs on different trails.
Okay.
So it would be a
Kind of an
Kind of an
bootleg
accumulated
Enduro.
enduro for the 20th anniversary, the evolution of the race. It's just hard because like so many of the trails have the same starts and ends that
Also, like, are a lot of people gonna want to spend the time to have to do 4 trails? You know.
Mitch was a lot faster than I expected to be. that race. He was really moving.
Yeah, I'm thinking if we did 3 trails throughout the thing, it'd be.
Yeah.
If we're all camping the night before at Craig's and doing the Beer Olympics, the racing itself
wanna
on
race 4
Sunday
laps?
might be.
I'll probably be camping in a hotel room that weekend.
He's got room in the house. He might be able to lobby for the house.
I thought you slept in the back of your Transit.
Oh, I sold that a few years ago.
Really?
He's got the pickup truck out there now. The Ridge line.
I miss having a van.
Yeah,
I'll get
I
another
do
van
too.
eventually.
Oh, look, Luke Bruni's up and he's green.
Yep, shocker.
Didn't he do a lap? Oh no, that was Finn Isles. I remember him. He's moving too.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, Bruni's.
It's almost like he's the best in the world.
Yeah.
I do really like Bruni.
I do too.
Like, it's sometimes it gets mildly boring watching him just because he's always so on point, but he is also he's so fucking good.
You watch everyone dying on the same course, and then
Well,
look,
Just
he's
rides
just
right
making it
through.
look easy.
Well, you
Yep,
watch his
no
speed in
drama.
that one section where it tells you everybody else was around 37 and he just went through at 43.
Is he gonna
Yeah.
jump it?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's pedaling way more than everybody else there. Still up.
I don't think anybody else has enough speed to clear it. Maybe.
You know what we haven't talked about in way too long is the green lights on the bikes. He does not have a light.
I'm really looking forward to being able to look it up after this.
Yes.
And at least try to find something.
I'm pretty sure
tried
you
to
can look
look
it
it
up
up.
right now, and it'd be
Yeah,
fine.
that's true.
Yeah,
Somebody might beat him.
Did you see? He jumped-
he could fall. He could fall. Oh, he extended. Oh, dogs are doing something.
What was that, Sprocket? What'd you do? What'd you do?
You're gonna hear me freak out.
Heart rate
if-
breakdown, zone 5.
His zone 5 is lower than mine.
Oh, he's going so fast.
Faster. At least I won't have to live with knowing that Ocean O'Callahan, who I was gonna pick first.
Watch, he's lost time.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
everybody was slow in that section though.
Did you get like?
Except for Ocean O'Callahan.
Yeah, him and Mary Piron.
Oh,
But yeah, as I say, in a sprint, I'm guessing Bruni's quicker.
Oh, he got it!
Oh, man.
.156.
Holy crap!
Oh.
Well, at least I didn't make the total wrong decision.
Yeah, because you could totally afford Bruni.
Right? Yeah. I have one rider on my team. And
Yeah, like he is like the whole salary cap, isn't he?
probably.
Probably. I don't think it's possible to buy him.
How does the money work? Like, how do you make money in that? Or
You
do
don't. You just get a budget, and like the rider values go up and down based on how well they do.
Okay.
You could have signed up.
It used
I
to
know.
be where you had a set budget and all the riders were priced off of the way where they were the previous season, and you
Okay.
could just set your team and kind of set it and forget it, kind of. And which is kind of what I would do unless like a rider was injured or something. But now every week their value changes, so you have to
Yeah, because
change it every week.
yeah, sometimes some of your riders will then do well, and then they're priced out of your budget.
Yeah.
And you got to go and switch it. Otherwise, you'll just have like 3 people on your team and then do terrible.
Well, I think that's what happened to me last year. Is like I set it up for the first race, and I did really well, and I didn't change it, and I didn't realize it was different, and then like the next week or the next
Yeah.
race, I did like miserable, and I only had like 2 people on my team, and I'm like, how did I only have 2 people on my
Right.
team?
Like, well-
and it was the rest of them all had priced their way out.
Yeah.
It was like, oh,
Cool.
okay, I guess I'm done.
Yep, season's a wash.
The thing that sucked last year was by the time everyone figured everything out and like did their teams right, Pink Bike messed up.
Oh,
And
really?
they
There was
deleted
the one.
race.
Yeah, there was one race. Yeah, that was messed. They
It was the highest
didn't
score
count.
I'd ever gotten. It was ridiculous how well I did in that race, and I didn't cheat like they said people did.
Oh, yeah.
And they got rid of it. So like last year, because we gave away shirts and like water bottles and
Oh,
stuff,
nice.
and I ended up having to like say both counted because I didn't think it was fair that one was gone, but then the overall record. So like I went back and like added up
Yeah.
the points. But yeah, I think we're done with this.
Yeah.
Right on.
So
Fun times.
I guess I should say we were joined today by returning guest Zach Bowinski,
Former mountain biker.
Former mountain biker.
Retired.
Nick Garrison, who was on the hardline thing, and we'll be on an episode in Bentonville soon,
And then we've got
if
within
you'll
the week.
if you'll let me.
maybe.
blacksmith and slope style rider Michael Foster.
Yeah.
I only want to be on if I get to make fun of mountain biking the whole time.
Look at it. Looks like he shit his pants.
I just want you
That's
to
what they all
Roy
look like.
Kent the whole episode.
Just give you yes and no answers the entire time.
Yeah.
Refuse to elaborate.
Like in season 2, his press conferences before he was
Yeah,
yelled at by
right.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
This is a Ted Lasso friendly podcast. All right. Thanks for listening. It was 2.5 hours almost on the dot. Perfect.
All right.
We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next World Cup. Thanks and goodbye. Bye-bye.